Welcome to yet another Rag Company Q&A. Could this be the last one? We'll see. Throw that out there. Get people scared. Get people worried.
I think they're
so
worried.
That they tune in. I think
they're
they are a
worried.
little freaked out.
Yeah.
We've been having some meetings lately. Some stuff's been going on. But before we get into all that, I just want to say thank you to everybody who tuned into TRCMA. We will definitely be talking about that today. Because guess what? Today, kind of an old school episode. It's actually very lo-fi. We don't even have a car we're detailing today. It's just Sydney, Anthony, and myself sitting here chatting with you and what you guys want to talk about. So that's the kind of show we were planning on. Anyway, is there any kind of housekeeping, anything going on, guys? Anything we can touch on the website, stuff that's happening, or we just want to talk about TRCMA? I literally hit these guys with zero plan before we walked out here. That's how old school it is.
We're like barely on re-entry. We're like we haven't like fully re-entered yet.
Okay.
Well, Dane,
Yeah.
thanks for asking.
There he is.
So there is a little bit of housekeeping we can touch up on. And hey, guys.
Ooh,
the
I
Rag
got a
Company.
close one for you. That's nice.
Hey, you. It's been a while. I missed you.
Oh, man.
Glad to see your face back here. Stay a while. Sit down. Ask some questions. And let's do a deep dive.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so when I say anyway, we're supposed to transition, Glenn, to a not such a close shot.
Nah. He's going to lean
They're checking
back.
the hair status. They're checking the hair
they are.
status.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. So a little bit of housekeeping. Obviously, we finished up with TRCMA. Amazing turnout. Amazing people involved. Everything from the brand partners. Obviously, you guys watching. And just the behind the scenes, right? All the technical aspects of the show went according to plan, and we were super happy that ended up happening. Now, following that, we obviously had the big sale during TRCMA. It was great. A lot of people stocked up on some great detailing supplies. We understand that we're out of a few things, right, as of the sale, so we're working on that right now. We actually have quite a few shipments on the way. A few of them are actually on the water right now. That should be here within the next week or two. And then, obviously the update on the Ultra H2O stuff as well. Everything is in the final phases of production there. And then I think actually some of it is going to be on the water, or if it isn't already on the water, for a release here in the next little while. So all good things there across the board. Now, what we've been doing here in the studio is mostly just kind of, finding, getting our, whatever it is, reins back.
Our bearings.
Our bearings, I should say, not reins, but like just getting back to the normal everyday stuff, because, during those final few months up to TRCMA, I mean, really everything is about the show and preparing and planning, a lot of communication, back and forth between the brands. And so now we're able to kind of get back to doing what we do best, which is, again, pursuing to create more, obviously, entertaining, fun, and educational content for all of you, as well as more product development stuff, which is really cool. So that has been pretty much it. We know that this summer is going to be pretty jam-packed. We're going to have brand weeks and all the fun stuff again. So things to look forward to, where we'll have our brand partners back in town for more fun events. And then obviously some pretty cool product launches throughout the summer as well. I mean, not just from us, but we're also expecting some stuff from Detail Factory. So basically stay tuned and stay signed up on the Rag Company newsletter so you don't miss out on any of that stuff. Also, a little bit of housekeeping. We have announced the official launch of our new ambassador program, our new kind of creator program for people who are looking for really kind of a more inviting experience into being a content creator / influencer. So at theragcompany.com, we've actually created a new tab, which is going to take you to the application form to apply to be a content creator. So let's see if we can kind of find that here on the website. Jimmy kind of knows where it's at. Oh, yeah, we do want to save 15% off, so we will sign up for that for our first order. And we'll go down to the different programs. Let's see if there we go.
There we are.
Become an ambassador. #team TRC. Pretty sweet. So the ambassador kind of breakdown. So there's actually going to be multiple tiers to this whole program. It's going to start with affiliate, then make its way up to influencer, then eventually make its way to partner, which basically unlocks more cool opportunities and doors along the way as you continue to kind of dive into this kind of content creation process with us. Now, people may have asked, like, what's the difference between this and the Grand Ambassador program? Well, the Grand Ambassador program, we ran for close to 6 years, and we had a ton of fun doing it with a lot of success. And I mean, shoot, I would deem that to be a pretty successful program. But nowadays, we find that kind of limiting us to one platform-ish and kind of keeping it very, very exclusive did keep some people out that we probably would have wanted in if they would, known that they could apply or whatnot. So this now opens the doors for more people at all different levels of content creation. And yeah, I'm excited. I think you guys should be excited.
I'm excited.
And Jimmy's done a good job. And so I am no longer managing any of that, but Carson and Jimmy are managing it, and they're doing a wonderful job. And so just know if you get accepted, then you're in good hands. You're in good hands.
No, excellent. I was told we actually have an additional camera angle that Glenn's experimenting with today. I'd like to see that.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that is... Thank you, Glenn. That was very thoughtful.
Remember when everybody said, they're like, oh, Anthony's balding, he's losing his hair.
What's this comb
So
over
I'm
you
not
got going
losing any of my hair, but it is, again, you can still see just that.
It's just a little
You
thin.
can see it's not thin, Dane, don't say that. It's just the way my hair parts. It's just
I can see skin.
it's just it's the way my hair parts. It is.
I'm sitting
it
right
is what
next
it
to
Has
is.
it always been that way?
Forever. It's always been that way. I have a medium thickness hair. It's just not, it's and to be honest, it's nice. It's
Tell you what.
it's less to manage.
While we ponder mysteries of life, such as why is Anthony's hair like that, let's bring some comments and questions up on the screen. And that way we can start things off properly for a Q&A. Sydney, I want you to read good old Bucky's here.
Hi, Alex. He says he's happy to be here, misses us all, as we miss you.
Likewise.
As well.
Alex and Joey were fantastic.
Oh my gosh. So
fantastic hosts
So good.
for the show. They really, really carried things along well. We love them for it, and we miss them already.
Yes.
All right. This is Dan Pfeiffer. I'm going to have Anthony read this for old time's sake.
Good afternoon, and a word up from a sunny 80-degree spring day in Minnesota. Happy Friday Eve to the TRC gang. Hope you all have had a chance to recovered from a great TRC week. Thank you very much, Dan. We're getting there. Slowly but surely.
Nice. All right. Then we move things along here with, oh boy, we got to give him a name.
Oh, wow.
The one who shall remain nameless. First of all, before we read it, what is his name today? Sid.
I'm going to go with Arthur.
Ooh, Arthur. We haven't done that before.
My favorite aardvark.
Okay.
I was thinking golfer.
I was going to say
the
the
Masters
king,
just happened. I don't know.
yeah.
I watched Arthur
I was
as a
going like
kid.
regal name, yeah.
Yeah.
Arthur.
All right.
But
Few different
Aardvark's fine.
options. Arthur it is. So Arthur says, good evening and happy Friday, Junior TRC fam, from the sunny 79-degree south coast of Massachusetts. I hope y'all are well today. Wow, 79. That is
79,
a
wow.
lot warmer
Yeah.
than
So
I
nice.
anticipated.
We're freezing right now. It's
Yeah,
like 4
it's-
degrees out.
It's
Literally
like 40
freezing.
out here.
Yeah.
We had snow, rain, sunshine, clouds.
Yeah.
It's been everything today.
It was
It's just
31 this morning.
It's like somebody's just scrolling through and they can't decide what weather
Yeah.
they want.
Yeah.
All right, moving along, we have Mac Bergson, who expresses a sentiment I like. So good
Yes.
to be back. TRCMA was excellent. Agreed. That was a ton of hard work behind the scenes. Big shout out to Glenn, who's running things from the back end. She did a fantastic job of keeping that show composed, smooth. Everything ran just like, it was like melted butter.
It was
just
amazing.
smooth.
Amazing.
But really, really good show. And then we have the question, of course, from Arthur wondering, is everyone recovered from TRCMA? How about your bank accounts? Glenn says she's not. She says no,
Yeah.
just for everybody's sake there. But
Yeah.
for you guys, how's the old account holding up? How's the wallet? Just wanted to touch
Well,
on that.
mine's fine because I didn't have
Okay.
any time to buy anything. 'Cause I
Right,
was
yeah,
here
we
the
were
whole week.
we were
so mine's
presenting,
fine.
so I was
But
trapped in the box.
Am I recovered? Getting there, but I would not say fully. I would not say fully.
I did empty my wallet quite a bit to get furniture for my deck, so I guess I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
totally
yeah, yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
I wanted to have something
You
for
had
the
the
people behind the
entertainment
scenes,
stuff, yeah.
so that had to happen. But
Well,
Yeah.
and true, I did have to rent a Tesla, right?
Oh,
so
that's
for the
true.
week, that was
Okay.
kind of a bummer. Yeah, because I couldn't be embarrassed.
You were in that minivan for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You were mortified.
Yeah, the
Mortified to be
minivan.
caught in a Pacifica.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Yeah. If you guys saw, there was a couple videos recently on Instagram that featured the cool minivan.
Oh, really?
There was some Detail Factory
Ooh.
shots that Lucas got, and it was so funny seeing them come up on my feed, and I was like, oh, the minivan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was not about to be caught dead in
no.
that thing.
That was rough. All right. So we've got Will Embry here. So many good products from TRCMA this year. Now, was there anything in particular you guys didn't see coming? I mean, that's not true. You guys know everything ahead of time. But as far as fun little bonuses, I, for one, was surprised when I saw they had like an OBD2 port on the IKs. That was not something I was aware of.
Well, it's not an OBD2 port.
I'm
anyway.
calling it that. It's not actually an OBD2
I
port.
was like, wait, I missed
No.
that.
People were joking in the it was nuts. They were all like, "Oh man, you're gonna get people who are doing like jailbreak and like chip tunes
gosh.
on these IK
Oh my
sprayers, making them
gosh.
pump out more power, like just going way outside the bounds of the warranty and stuff." It's gonna get crazy, I'm sure.
Yeah, we got ECU readouts on the IK spares before Grand Theft Auto 6. Can you believe that?
Oh my
It's
goodness.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
There was one thing that I really want, which was
What was
that
that?
darn tire inflator
Oh,
from
tire
Ego.
inflator,
Yeah,
yeah.
I really want that.
Eco
was pretty cool.
products.
Yeah, that
Once
was
you
pretty
have a
cool.
few, it's hard
Yeah.
to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Anthony, was there anything from TRCMA that caught your eye? Anything that you were just like, okay, as soon as this is over, I'm going to go and palm a hundo to somebody so you can walk away with something?
It doesn't work like that at these shows.
No, actually,
Unfortunately.
for those who are wondering, a lot of these
Yeah.
companies, they're like, yeah, so we'll be taking that back. And they make us ship the stuff back with them.
Yeah.
It's true.
This year there was a few that wanted
Ooh.
their stuff back. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
there is. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a few one of their
Little
stuff back.
particular.
Let me think. So
Oh,
out of,
man.
I mean, there was a lot of cool stuff for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, for me, it was kind of. I mean, for me, it was all about the HO stuff, obviously, and kind of getting that for this kind of initial. I don't know what I'd call that process. Is it an announcement launch or launch announcement, whatever we want to call it. But I mean, that was a big part for me, so I was really looking forward to that, obviously. But for other brands, I loved seeing. I think the Ego presentation was awesome. I think that the boys at Flex, considering it was their kind of first time doing it, they did a great job as well. Rupes always puts on a good show, and seeing the KCX stuff as well in person. I mean, that was actually probably the most polished KCX segment that they've had with showing off the new wet gloss product. I was really impressed. I think they did a good job. So, yeah, there's definitely a few different things I'm happy with. I'm also really just happy that the color lock refinement of the brand and kind of relaunch is going to be happening, because I will straight up admit that there's been like this lull here with the leather cleaning stuff that, I myself personally use color lock products, where it hasn't really matched what we've had on the website, right? We've been out of things, or there was some label changes happening and all sorts of stuff. So making the recommendations for certain leather stuff was kind of unavailable for a little while. So I'm happy that that's back.
Yeah.
Nice. So, moving along here, I kind of did this to get us chatting a little bit about TRCMA, so these guys would throw out some related comments and questions about that. But since, we got a decent number of people here who are kind of checking in and stuff, and they're obviously curious, they're like, what's changing about Q&A?
Yeah.
Am I going to have to come over there and beat
Just gonna
someone?
rip the
is what I
Band-Aid
think.
off?
Yeah, or like Han said, he's like, I'm going to have to go over there and open a court session on you guys. So
Okay.
He said that. Can you pull that up?
yeah, no, Judge Hans Closen, he's in the chat there. It's during the break. He was busy with
Oh.
that. But yeah, just so you're aware. Court is now in session, says Hans.
Nice.
Yeah, so if we could talk about that a little bit. I know you guys were in the loop when we were kind of doing these discussions. The fact of the matter is, when it comes to running a YouTube channel, I mean, I'm going to get like a little behind the wall here, but essentially YouTube likes what it likes, and it definitely doesn't like what it doesn't like. And as far as people who show up to watch things, it's a constant battle of like giving you guys exactly what you want or what you think you want versus what YouTube thinks more people are going to want to see. And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're true to ourselves and we're providing you with something that we feel good about, but we also have to contend with the fact that people's time is money around here, and if we're just kind of goofing off shooting a show and there's like 50 to 100 people watching it, it's not really enough to justify like the cost of everybody going and spending their time doing this. So obviously it does get a little challenging when obviously like our videos on the channel, Jimmy does a fantastic job doing that, getting them out there, planning the stuff out. Seabass edits a lot of them. These guys work so hard to produce this stuff. And that's really it. It's like people's time and effort really is worth something. And we want the actual end result of like people seeing this stuff to reflect that. And we only have so much control because at the end of the day, it's on, you know, whoever tunes in to actually show up, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And I know you can feel the writing on the wall. You're like, is it going away? Sid, you and I in particular really made sure we stuck up for the little guy when it came to this stuff. And we talked a lot about how people would feel if something were to change too drastically. So in our talks, in our discussions, we found what I think was a happy medium that still gives people those opportunities like Q&A here to be able to talk and have fun in the comments and like us to kind of, you know, vibe a bit while doing something that is worth the effort of everybody involved, just because there is a lot of, you know, expense and time set aside for that, that we make it worth everybody's while. So what we kind of compromised and found was, if we're going to do this, we're not going to half-ass it. We're not going to, it's going to be mid, you know, kind of thing. Like, as much as we try, sitting at this table and talking kind of kills the momentum of like how many people are willing to watch a live stream. Just being frank with you, people aren't super stoked if they're tuning in and they're just like, oh, it's people sitting at a table. So for a while there, we're like, okay, here's an idea. We detail a car in the background. We talk and we have a detailer actually doing work so we can like point to it and show it. And that was a good idea for a time. And you guys seemed to like that. And I definitely saw what, you know, people were going for there. And I think it did help. But it also, we started to kind of hit a ceiling with that too. And TRCMA really shows us what happens when like we go all out and we really apply ourselves in a way that, frankly, as much as I might sit here and try and be entertaining, talking to you guys, you know, hostery, all that kind of stuff, and you guys just hanging out and doing your thing as best you can. There's only so far we can take it without adding extra layers of production and camera angles and all this other stuff. So I'm kind of beating around the bush here, but basically, yes, I'm beating around the Anthony's hair. We are going to do live streams. They're not going away. They're kind of changing, though, because there will be fewer of them each month. We're not going to be doing one every single week, I'm sorry to say. But what I encourage people to do is in those off weeks, I want people tuning into the Facebook group. I want people leaving comments on the videos. I want to keep the spirit alive of doing that kind of thing so that when we do roll into the live streams we are going to be doing, it's more active, it's more engaged, it's more intense, it's more fun. And so with these live streams we plan on doing, we are, in fact, doing a lot more planning. I'm Mr. like fly by the seat of your pants and do that kind of thing. But I'm surrounded by planners here and people who enjoy structure. So I always kind of feel a little bit out of that. Yeah, Glenn says she's watching me. So there's definitely that element going on. But what I'm here to say is you're going to be getting live streams that are like cranked up to 11. Like these ones are going to be really fun, really out there. They're things that would have been like a main channel video, but now we're doing like a live version of it. And to make it, once again, worth our while and your while, a lot of these, where they make sense, are going to be cut into what will eventually become main channel videos as well. So they'll actually have enough of a core concept to them that they can work as a standalone video. Because another thing we discovered in all of our research and all of our, you know, talking with people was that a lot of people who watch our videos have no clue about the live streams. And a lot of people who watch the live streams, you know, they may watch the videos, but it's a very core important group to us. It's just not enough to sustain on its own. So we got to come up with ways to make it make sense. Anyway, I've been talking a whole bunch. I want to get your guys' feedback on this.
Yeah. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to?
Go for it.
Okay. So one thing worth noting is that, we'll still be super interactive. So even though we'll be live and we'll be technically kind of behind the scenes filming a video, we will still totally interact with you guys and we'll still be ourselves. I think that was one of my biggest concerns was, and if you guys remember the last Q&A that we did right before TRCMA, we used this exact method. So we came out, we did a live stream. It was the one where Anthony and I were doing 3 ways to decon a coating. And, we told you guys at the beginning that we were going to be filming a real video. And I actually thought that was fun for you to be able to kind of see behind the scenes of how we film a video. And obviously it's a little bit modified, but, kind of fun to go through, recording the intro and the outro and all that funny stuff. But I think moving forward, that was one of my concerns was, I still wanted the audience to really see our true personalities and for us to be able to just talk in general and not have to be so proper that we're recording a video. But, we kind of talked about that and we're not going to lose any of that. And so that's what kind of made me like, oh yeah, I'm all in, because I think it's fun because when we do record videos, there's a lot of bloopers, right? There's a lot. And
So
you guys don't
much.
ever get to see those, but now you actually will get to see them. And so, we might have to redo something or, we might drop something, break something. And so that'll be the fun in it. And I think it'll be great because there will be a subject for each live stream, but we will still be able to interact with the audience the same as we do sitting at this table.
Yeah.
We'll just be moving around, but it should be really, really fun.
And that is something, just a quick thing before we get to Anthony's side of this. I want to stress to everybody, because I can see the comments, and of course people are going, oh my God, it's over, I'm dying.
The sky is falling.
I understand the frustration. As the person, I'll straight up say, I don't normally, wave around, but I'm the one who started Q&A. I started our podcast.
Yeah.
I started those things because I love talking directly to the audience, and it was a way to reach people back when we did it as a very simple thing. I just hook up a phone and I put it up there and we just start talking to it, right?
Yeah.
And since then, production has obviously changed a lot.
Yeah.
And that is, frankly, what separates us from a lot of other places that, do similar things or saw what we are doing and, try and replicate some of that. I can't blame anybody for trying.
Sure.
But it is one of those things where, engagement really is the end-all be-all. And in stressing engagement, I want to say, you guys have the power to shape what those live streams and those videos become. So like Sid was saying here, it definitely takes everybody to make this stuff work. And when you guys go in and we get those, goofy kind of out of left field moments, like Matt Mormon's pants ripping at TRCMA last year, that kind of stuff, that wasn't predictable. That wasn't anything anybody decided, oh, we're going to take a little knife and loosen up the threads here so that it'll happen at exactly this time. We're not that premeditated. It just happened and you roll with it. But it really does come down to what you guys are able to help us make this thing. So I really don't want to lose that. I'm going to emphasize that super heavily on the audience participation front. You will shape the videos. Now, Anthony.
Yeah, well, pretty much all said exactly what I said. So it was fun, and now it's done.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Wow. Don't say it
I'm
like
just
that.
kidding.
Oh, my God. Oh,
It's evolving.
No, so I think what we're going to end up getting out of this is better live streams in general, right? Probably more entertaining live streams. We can basically take this time frame, not this time frame, but the allotted time that we would have taken to set this up and move it towards something that will probably be a little bit more evergreen, probably live on a little bit longer. We again, the one thing with Q&As and even when we had the main show podcast is that it would live on, honestly, sometimes further than what we expected it to live on. But for the most part, the effort that we put into it, I mean, there would probably be an immediate drop off after we're done shooting and after everybody's kind of listened to it. You don't really re-listen to certain podcasts over and over again, at least not all of them. Same thing with kind of Q&A. Once you've kind of heard the questions get asked and answered, you've kind of got what you need to, and you'll move on. And what's tough is that the Q&A, all the episodes that we have, hundreds and hundreds of episodes of these Q&As.
This we're at 340, 341 thereabouts for Q&A, not
For
the main show. The main show.
340 Q&A.
That's a lot.
We've
done over 1,000 episodes of various content.
There is so much information in those that I mean, really, if you were to go back and listen to every single one, yes, there'd probably be a lot of redundancy with getting the same questions asked and answered.
Sure.
But I think that there's probably enough information in there between the guests we've had, myself, Levi, Sid, Dane, everybody in between, to where you'd probably be able to really have most of the detailing information you'd ever need, really. But how do you search it? You can't. Right, you can't go Rag Company Q&A episode, bead maker application with Dave Phillips. Chances are Google's probably not going to be able to find that exact Q&A, and that's what kind of makes it tough. Is that this information's so good and it's out there, but it is kind of like a flash in the pan, and then it's gone unless you do a really, really deep dive. And not everybody's going to do that because it's 2026. We're all impatient. We've lost our attention spans, so we need that immediate gratification as fast as possible. So what that means is that by creating these live videos, these newer, higher produced live videos, that stuff will be evergreen. It will be searchable. It will have a direction to all of it. But ideally, we still get somewhat silly in them, and we still have a lot of fun, and we still joke around. But it may not, because again, they are going to be searchable things. We may not get the carryover of the constant. I mean, maybe, you never know, right? Things can turn into certain things on YouTube with, I guess what I'm trying to say is like a certain story. Like, will people remember that story for all the other lives? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that this is probably the right general move.
It's not an easy decision.
It's not an easy decision,
Like,
but
we care.
I guess truthfully, if we're just going to be straight up real, if we had like 2,000 watchers on a Q&A Thursday,
different story.
It would be a
Totally
completely different story.
Mm-hmm.
It would be.
They would be like, please do more.
We would do more. We'd probably do multiple shows a week, right? But we have. Let's just say, like right now, we have 60 people that are watching, right? These are like the best 60 people ever. They're awesome.
We
They are
absolutely
totally.
love these 67
They are
people.
our customers. They are our friends. They are essentially. I mean, I'm pretty sure Hans Closen may actually be family at this point. I would feel comfortable donating blood for that man,
No,
right?
he changed his blood, so he's related to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
He saved a
did.
sample the last time we were there.
That's haunting, right? I mean, and even the same dragon tattoo, right? So what I mean by that is that so many of you have been around for so long, being like essentially family members, that we don't want you to go away. We want you to stick around. But we are kind of making the show just for you guys. And when it comes to running a business, the time and effort, the cost to do these kind of things, like, we want to make sure we're reaching a wider audience. And I think that from a searchability standpoint, and from going back to what I said before about things being evergreen, we're not even really able to get that, right? And the other thing too is that we're not really forcing it down people's throats that we do this Q&A. We tried, but you can only do it so much before you get annoying, right? I would have to make every single YouTube video and go, this Thursday, Q&A Thursday,
There was a while where we
like-
kind of tried that. And I do the
Yeah,
scheduled
you would-
posts. You guys see them every time in the Facebook group and on the community tab on YouTube. And we get some response on there. And like a lot of companies won't talk about this kind of stuff. Like, hey, numbers just aren't quite there for like rationalizing the stuff we do. And originally, like when I was doing it, there was no real goal or like metrics attached to it. It really was just to see what's out there. I created the Q&A because it was a way to do customer service in an unconventional way.
Yeah.
And lots of other companies had done like, oh, we'll do a live stream Q&A, like maybe a couple times a year they'll throw it out there, but nobody was doing it like I wanted us to do it, where no, we're going to make it like a weekly thing.
Yeah.
And people can tune in. Maybe there's a few, maybe there's a lot, but hopefully there's questions and we can answer them. And obviously, for those of you who are here right now, it was important enough for you to actually stick around and be a part of it, and you became hooked. And that's why I want to bring up the comment from Alpha Tango, because he says the podcast and live are the funnel that led me here to buy from you, just FYI. And Alpha Tango, you've been an awesome addition to the community here.
Yeah.
And I really want to say thank you. And this all sounds like it's all going away and it's all sad. But once again, this is just evolution. And I know people are uncomfortable with change. But I want to say, like, I and Sydney and Anthony and many more people behind the doors here do really care about the spirit of this thing and making sure that doesn't go away.
Yeah.
And we are absolutely doing everything we can within the bounds of it being a day job, that we try and make this fun thing still continue to exist. And this is how we found a way to make that happen.
Yeah. And I do think that that's important to notice, that was consistently talked about through every single discussion. And I mean, we've been having this discussion for almost a year probably. It's obviously gotten more serious lately, but I do think that collectively amongst the whole team, that has been the concern, is making sure that we keep the connection and keep the fun and keep the aspects of the Q&A that everyone loves, and, gives a place for everybody to gather and have fun and speak. I do think that one of the good things that will come out of this is, I think that sometimes, when we're looking at the questions, I think sometimes when we're looking at the questions, sometimes we can tell that sometimes there's just questions being asked to ask a question.
Sure.
But I think what I love of the new format is we'll have a topic, obviously. We're going to have something that we're actually filming on. And so I think it will help the conversation where the information that is asked and given will be a higher quality. And I think it will also raise questions within people that maybe they didn't know they had. So even, speaking on decon or something like that, or using acid, we're going to be answering questions and showing things that maybe people didn't realize they had that question and they didn't realize how to do that, or, so I think that will be cool by, having a topic each live stream, is that it will, keep the conversation better answers and better questions, I think. And I think it will be more fun and interactive, and we'll make sure that we don't lose that, right? That is seriously, like, it's something that is everyone's, top concern, is to make sure they stay fun.
That is the most challenging compromise in all this stuff, because as I mentioned earlier, I'm Mr. like freewheeling. We'll figure it out as we go. We'll build the plane as we're flying, that whole kind of thing. Versus going in with a plan and a structure and a rundown, which vast majority of people here prefer, because they like knowing what's going to happen. In order to do the more produced stuff, it's a fact of life. And frankly, I am less comfortable with the planned stuff, but at the same time, like, I see that's how people want it, and I'm going to adapt the best I can to try and match that energy and build on it.
Yeah.
But that is kind of where some of the challenge lied in getting an audience. When you have a plan, when you show people, here's what we're going to do today, here's what's going to happen. To me, that's actually less interesting. But to a YouTube audience, when people are searching and they're looking for stuff, they're looking for something specific. When I write, we answer your detailing questions as the title, and I make kind of a generalized thumbnail, and it's just pictures of us with I try and put a car in there so people know it's car related. Like, I'm making all the thumbnails, you guys. But as far as all that stuff goes, it's tough for me to be too specific, because I don't want to pigeonhole us. But what I've realized over the years is YouTube doesn't care. They want you to be specific. They want you to cater to something very niche, because that's what's going to get people to tune in.
Yeah.
But to me, niche was always scary, because, you're going to alienate all the people who aren't interested in that very specific thing. Whereas I wanted like something broad where people could come in and bring all their wild ideas and all that stuff to make the show more interesting.
Yeah.
That's where I admit I've been wrong a lot of the time in trying to make that thing work and just beat my head against a wall and really try and like make that the thing. In terms of viewership and engagement, frankly, my method, I'll fully admit, just isn't, ironically, it's not for everyone, especially not for YouTube. However, I think what we've managed to get in terms of you guys as the audience, like the amazing people who tune in, tell us their amazing stories when we meet you at like events and conventions and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that. I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Yeah.
And it means so much to me, and I'm sure these guys too, to have met so many of you like in person at these things and just hear stories. And it's always funny when somebody, Anthony knows this, Levi and Anthony and I always used to talk about this, where somebody comes up to you and they just kind of like they're talking to you, and then about half an hour into like asking questions, they reveal, oh, I know everything about you. And you're just like, whoa, you're kind of taken aback when suddenly it's like, oh, right, you've listened since the beginning. You just didn't let me know that until way later into this conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that's happened to you and you many times.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It is a difficult balance to make, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I think too, the other thing was that, we've done this for so long. Again, we probably answered every single question probably we could have ever answered. That, we to the point of making it fun and probably interjecting personality. I mean, I think that with that, gosh, I mean, we can only talk about detailing so much before we start losing our minds, right? So we have to start kind of breaking it up with some rather, odd humor, or we'll throw in weird stories of Dane's backyard, or, if you remember the mailroom from back in the day, Trish, right? My neighbor, the what's it called? The Meridian Marmot. I mean, there's so many different.
I'm getting a ton of stories in these comments from people.
There's so many
who are
different
writing
stories
it on
that we've had over the years, and really those stories just kind of came about, on the main show and or the Q&A, just because, oh my gosh, we got to start covering some other stuff, and then the main show kind of more turned into our weekends, and that was kind of fun because it was, sometimes they were detailing related, sometimes they weren't at all, and we would still cover them, and it was really just to kind of say, well, we've talked about this, and maybe we can make more room for detailing on Thursday. But I've seen some podcasts out there where, I've seen some feedback over the years for ours where it was like, I wish it was more detailing focused. I wish you guys stayed on detailing topics. I wish you guys talked more about detailing business techniques and strategies and things like that. And what we realize is that our audience of people really are
They're more fun than that.
Our audience is more fun than
we're kind of
right?
weirdos.
I mean,
we like that about
we
you
are
guys.
not hustle bro culture. We are not sitting here telling you that you're going to get rich mobile detailing. We're not here to offer you or promise you a lifestyle that you could have if you put a bunch of lion posters on the wall that say "Stay hungry." We're not going to do that, right? We're also
make sure it's black and white.
I know that's very specific. But
the type.
The type, right? And we aren't that. We are the type of people, we go, hey, here's this information. You need to use this to your own, use this as it applies to you, to be a better detailer, to just have more knowledge in this, and then run with it. But I think what it is we're not really ever pitching a sale. We're not trying to pitch our wares. I mean, crap, if you actually think about it, in any Q&A, have we ever been pitchy that they needed to buy this product from us?
No.
That was a core belief I had from the very beginning.
We've never said, hey, you need to buy this product. You have to use this towel. You have to use this. Right. We would say, oh, something like an Eagle would work. We would say something, or maybe, hey, you could try like a compound, like Last Cut would probably do the job. We've never said Last Cut, and you go to their website and you have to go buy it right now. We've never ever been pushy like that.
And I'm sure in a moment somebody could clip something from years ago or like a week ago where they're like, oh, you specifically said this. But the spirit of us has always been just provide assistance and things to people's questions, offer some suggestions, some solutions, but don't act like it's the end all be all. You have to do this, you have to do that.
You can talk about sales, but I mean,
trying to help offer people a path without making them feel like it's the only path.
But that's where it makes me wonder.
I hate chilling.
I'm
pitchy.
I've seen and watched other podcasts, right? Other detailing related things where maybe the view count is really high, or maybe they have really good interaction, or maybe something's going on there. But I find like the core message is that they're there to sell, pitch, guide, towards a path of
a one-way,
a one-way path. And I go, well, maybe people do want that, right? Maybe people want to be told that they need to buy this product, or this is the best new thing and they have to get it, or this new color of towel will completely change the game for them, or whatever it is. And like,
much love to Juice.
I mean, I don't know. And so I guess maybe that is one example of people who want to be sold to and want to be promised this lifestyle or these detailing skills and techniques that they will get if they follow this. And we just don't really do that. And that was where, and I don't think we'll ever do it. And so that's the tough part too, is that that's not who we are. That's not how we've ever done business, and that's not how we've grown the way that we've done it. So to that point, we've always been very loose about how we've gone about talking about detailing in general. And because of that, some people would tune out and say, well, okay, I only want to talk about detailing. I only want to do this. Okay, well, part of me goes like, well, okay, come back in 6 months when you're detailed out.
Yeah.
And you'll find your way back to us, and you'll see why we've gotten to this point, right? And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, or sometimes they just change hobbies, change jobs, and they go, well, I did the detailing thing. It wasn't for me, right? Move on. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that we've taken a lot of different approaches to trying to do more longer form Q&A / podcast approach. We've tried to keep things on the rails of detailing. We've taken things off the rails of detailing.
People get mad when I do that to you guys.
And,
I'm like, it's a detailing podcast. I don't do it because I love interrupting, even though people think I love to interrupt. I don't. And I just did.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
just did, Dane, and so that's why I'm going to be happy with being done with that. So
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We're clipping that.
Perfect.
being done
That's
with
the
that,
kind
so.
of stuff Glenn
That's
wants
what
to
people
see.
want. Anyway.
Yeah.
But no, so I guess I saw Juice's comment says that Anthony has the best pitches. Honestly, my pitches, like if I'm ever pitching something, it's usually probably because I'm actually passionate about it, and I'm like, hey, I really think that you guys yourself, like as people, will probably like this. If you like our stuff, you like the show. If there's a product that I'm passionate about, I go here's. I think you will like this one, and I try to mean that with all of my heart because I don't feel confident doing that with everything, but I feel confident doing something. So I try to keep my pitches natural. Even like the Ultra H2O kind of presentation that we had at TRCMA, that wasn't even a sales pitch. We weren't even selling the product yet. But my thing was just I'm excited about it. If I can just be honest and show that I'm excited about it, then it makes everything so much easier that I don't have to hide behind a lie. I don't have to, hide the evidence of something or whatever it is. I don't have to do any of that. And by doing that, it makes it's freaking refreshing, right? Because it's blissful for me. You guys don't know the difference, but it's blissful for me. So anyways, what I'm trying to say ultimately in a big round of circle is that we've had a ton of fun doing what we've done. And for what it's worth, my favorite thing was not talking about detailing, to be honest. I mean, I love just honestly talking about movies that we've seen. I love talking about anything really other than detailing because it was kind of like...
And that's why 71 people are watching, not 271 people.
Yeah, and that is...
But I love it.
The truth is that, because what happens... Do you know what happens when the podcast ends, honestly? Do you guys want to know what happens? We go back to work in the detailing world.
Yeah.
And I develop products and help guide and create videos for people in detailing. So this is like the 2 hours of being able to be like, crap, let's talk about anything other than detailing. And unfortunately, it's still on a detailing channel, so we can't do that.
It's the tension that makes it fun, though.
But yeah, I mean, we're constantly pursuing this. So it's not like I have a day job as a I don't know. I don't work at a IT company, doing spreadsheets, and then I'm happy to jump into a 2-hour podcast about detailing and only talk about detailing because my job is everything detailing related and thinking about the processes of people detailing cars and doing things and testing products. That makes it like, I got to talk more about detailing, right? Which again, I like, but I like to have some variation there. So
yeah,
I hope that helps also too. And the other weird thing I always wonder too, this is a weird thing. If you are a detailer full time, right? Say if you're in a shop, right? I don't know about you guys. I don't think I want to hear about somebody else talking about detailing cars or products at the same time. I've tried it. I go, well, it's cool. It's like somebody's with me for a period of time, but then I put on like a movie or I put on or I just listen to music and I get lost into a different world that reminds me less of that. But I suppose that if you are detailing in a shop every single day and you're the only employee and there's nobody else in your shop, that maybe listening to somebody else that's detailing along with you makes it feel less lonely or makes it feel like you have somebody else with you while you're doing the job. Give me some insight. What do you think, Sid?
Yeah, I mean, this kind of goes along with Arthur's question. I pretty much come here for the off the rails. And so, yes, like what you just brought up, like as a professional, and I know how to detail, I've always watched the show since the very first episode, right? And I would say that I probably watched it more to hear the stories and see the craziness more so than to ask a question and get the information. So I think that the new format could lean into that. I mean, I think that we can still, have those conversations and tell those stories and the magicians in the editing room will just, still make the best of that. But I think honestly, there's been times, and I'm sure Anthony, you feel the same. There's been times where we're filming a video out here in the studio and something will happen and the thought will come up like, this is what people need to see because this is like real life. I know there's a lot of other shows and videos and creators out there that put out these videos and you think that they detail perfect and everything goes perfect and they're, no errors. They never drop a towel like, oh my gosh, what a big this in. And there is times that things happen in this studio where I'm like, this is what people need to see. So I do think with this new format of you guys getting to see some of the behind the scenes is going to be so much more entertaining. It may not be, I think probably for both all of us, we probably need to learn how to control our mouths so that we don't get demonetized. However, like the funny stuff that happens in here though is, I mean, we get compound all over our shirts. Water splashes in our face. Somebody gets sprayed with water. But I think the magic that you guys will get to see is the result of that. And like, some people will say, oh my gosh, that video was so good. And I laugh to myself and I say, you should have seen what an absolute disaster that was during filming. Like absolute disaster, And so I think that that's what will be the really cool takeaway is that
it's like
we're almost
window.
letting you guys into the studio when we're filming a video, but we're still interacting with you. And I believe we did say there will still be like a small Q&A session at the end of every live stream. So it's not like you're not going to get, if you have a question, you're still going to be able to answer it. We're just not going to sit there for 2 hours and just answer questions.
And it's just not.
So we're not cutting out the
week.
Q&A completely. There'll be like, a small part at the end.
Yeah. But we're definitely doing this at least like our ultimate goal is to do this like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's what we want to shoot for. It may early on end up being just like maybe 1 or 2 a month just to kind of get figured out because we got some really fun plans of how this is going to work. And I do want to stress that like a big part of the Q&A was also like interjecting our personalities into this. That was intentional from the very beginning, was a chance to like show people a different side of ourselves because in the live format you get to kind of like stretched out. In the main show, obviously the podcast, you got to have those discussions that you're not going to see in a detailing video on YouTube. That's all that stuff's cut out. And so like what you're saying there is absolutely a core tenet of like the whole live process is showing people a little peek behind the curtain, as you said, and a chance to get to know the people who have the products that maybe they're interested in buying. But once again, we're going to tell you like if you want to buy from other places, from us, whatever it is, we just hope that, we helped you out in some way, some form or fashion. And if you buy from us because you enjoy us, well, then take it from DS here. He's helping for what it's worth. The fun stories on the podcast and Q&A is what kept me around and spending money. And DS, I am definitely not blind to that fact. I think that was really, really important for a very solid core group of people, yourself included, because I've been seeing your name up here for years. I know you've been a part of this for a very long time, and I just want to say thank you so much. And I hope that you stick around because the stuff we are going to be doing coming up here is actually kind of insane. Glenn did make a point. I forget the date now of when we're going to do it exactly, but the 24th, next Friday. Holy cow, that's like really soon. So actually, get this. Next Friday, we are doing one of these live streams we talked about.
What's the premise?
The premise, yes, we can actually tease the premise. We might need to dance around what you might be wearing
You have to tease it with
during
us because
this.
we haven't heard.
But we can tease the premise a bit. Something to do, Anthony, with household products. Yeah. How much are we going to say about that, though? Because I don't want to give the whole game away, but just, you see all those videos out there. People are like, you don't need to buy XYZ detail product. I'm just going to use this thing you can find in the cleaning drawer of your household or, your cupboard or whatever. Use that. It'll work just as good.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna put that to the test and then some.
Everything with Dawn Power Wash.
And there may or may not be some potential. I mean, once again, Matt's ripped pants. Not planned. This, we do have a possible bit of wardrobe for Anthony. I'm afraid I may even be told I have to wear this at some point, which I am mortified by.
Oh my gosh.
But all I'm saying is this particular bit of wardrobe feels like it's prone to malfunction. So I'm just throwing that out there as
let's just say, so it's kind of nice. You know, I can, probably the best way to describe this. And this maybe our audience would like to hear this. You know how like Top Gear and the Grand Tour, they always say the producers are having us do that, right? The way I see it is Jimmy and Glenn are the producers, right? They're the ones that are going to task us with certain things, right, for these lives that I think will ultimately end in a good video, right? But I think that part of the reason why this will be fun is that there will be intention behind what we create, but because it's live, there's a lot of the unexpected. So the producers will be having us do certain things, and these things will be live, and maybe there's certain twists, or maybe there's certain, I don't know, things that we have to wear, or certain things that we have to try to do within a period of time. And I think that you'll still very much get our personalities coming out in that process, right? I mean, for what it's worth, when we had for people who didn't know, we did a cheap card challenge once. I don't know if everyone remembers
God, that was so much fun.
That was probably one of the funnest things that we ever did, and one of the probably least viewed videos we've ever made.
Criminally underviewed.
Oh no!
Criminally underviewed.
The cheap card challenge was, when me, Levi, and Dane all purchased these really cheap cars. Right, we had a $3,000 budget, and we
you can't find those cars for those prices anymore. By the way,
we utilized our skills and premium detailing products available through radcompany.com. There's a pitch to restore these cars, right, and bring them back to life. And what's so funny is that the if that was shot as a live video, oh my God, the things you guys would have seen.
Oh gosh,
it would have it would have provided laughs for years, right? If you would have seen Dane up until 11 p.m. at night or 10 p.m. at night,
I'm
right?
so glad I shot footage from that. There were deer walking by in the middle of the night past me.
The paint off of his wheels, right?
So painful.
As he sat there crisscross applesauce as deer were greeting him in the parking lot. You couldn't,
wow, nature.
You couldn't make that up, right?
And not just once, right? It was twice.
Oh, it's a couple times.
It was twice because Dane screwed up his wheel painting job
gosh.
twice on this whole challenge, right?
Yeah.
To the point where Jeff, his father, had to say, Dane, you're into this so much time that I think we need to pay for these wheels to get powder coated because I'm paying you to do this.
Yeah.
And it was
annihilated.
There were so many things that I'm like, man, if this was live, if the downtime here could have been shot and filmed, it would have been unreal. The amount of funny stories that people would have. So what we're going to be able to do is take this time block of these live streams, get hopefully a lot of that same kind of energy and interaction in there. And then provide some really funny, and maybe entertaining, educational content. So, yes, it has to. Next week we'll have to do with household cleaning products.
Tamara hopes to see Lucas there
to a certain point, and I don't know. There might be some lavender fabuloso.
Ooh,
wow.
Okay, noted. All right,
are you picking up what I'm putting down, Sid?
Yeah.
A little bit of lavender fabuloso.
Okay.
Oh no.
Are we mixing it with powdered Tide?
Oh boy. Okay. So I just want to stress all of that to you guys that don't worry, the fun is not over. We are continuing. We're just finding ways to do it that make sense. Hopefully get some new recruits into the TRC fandom here. We get that community built up. And what I'm going to stress to you again is if you do not have your notifications turned on, specifically the bell for TRC, turn that on. Make sure you set up notifications for live streams in particular, because you can actually click notify me when you see the live streams pop up on the Rag Company YouTube page. That's going to help you, because a lot of these live streams that are going to be coming out no longer just Thursdays. It's not relegated to one day of the week. It's actually broken out into several different days. In this case, it's going to be a Friday. So changing things up a little bit. I just want people to be aware. 2 p.m. on Friday next week. That's when you can look forward to our first touch of this new live format.
And we'll make sure that we get those out there ahead of time,
Yeah.
right? So when we'll
build them
have our
out.
schedule
I'll get it
built
done.
out months in advance. And so we will make sure that we do a good job, getting it out there when they are, because they will be a little bit more sporadic, so that you guys can put them on your calendars.
So, as Arthur says right here, with Fabuloso, the true Portuguese and Anthony is going to come out. Lavender Fabuloso, the official smell of the California Valley, including Sacramento to Modesto and even lower areas of Turlock. So, Lavender Fabuloso. That valley radiates this scent, which is why Joey Belinsky, commented as well. If you know, kind of
Will
thing.
Embry with the enthusiasm. I like it. A little optimism. Fabuloso makes a floor as slick as snot on a doorknob. Why not car paint?
These are all great questions.
Have I ever told you guys my magic mop solution?
Wait, what's
It's
this?
Fabuloso, right? Yeah.
Well, there's additives. So
Oh.
Fabuloso, like a quarter of a cup, and then 1 dishwasher tablet, and a quarter cup of Tide powder. Best
For your
mop.
floor?
Yes, best mop
So you're
solution.
just
yes,
mopping
walls.
your vinyl?
Yeah, you can mop your walls. Yeah,
Yeah,
floors.
but this reminds me of
No,
when
it's
my
so
see, we're
good.
gonna be going off the rails here.
It's
It
so
reminds
good.
me of when my wife would take. So she saw that TikTok of of people taking the what's it called, the Downy scents, the scent
Oh, the
beads.
melt things.
Oh,
yeah.
I've got
Remember
those.
Yeah.
Things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, if you just
Unstoppables.
Unstoppables.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
goes, if you just mix this in with like water and shake it up in a sprayer, you get a free air freshener for like your whole house,
Yeah.
right?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Dude, she saw this on TikTok, and it was my absolute nightmare because she sprayed this,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And once those things melt or dissolve, right,
Yeah.
they re-solidify
Right, yeah.
once they get oxygen again,
Yeah.
right? So she had sprayed the whole house, right?
Yeah.
The couch had a
Like little,
film,
little wax beads
had a
all over.
wax film on everything,
Yeah.
and the blinds,
Oh.
the blinds, the mist of it landed.
Yeah.
I had to clay the blinds. I had to
my
literally
gosh.
clay bar the blinds
Oh
to
my
get
gosh.
the freaking stuff off of there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you sprayed candle wax all over our house. And she goes, it's not supposed to do that. I don't know why that happened. And I
It's
go,
not supposed. They didn't design.
and I
it for
said,
this.
where did you see this? She's like, I saw it as a tip on TikTok. I'm like, we're going to stop watching the TikTok recommendations because I don't think that they work very well.
I'm starting
And
to
I
think some of those people are
and
trustworthy.
I think that these people are just mixing crap just to make some content, and I don't think it works very well.
Kind of
She's
sounds
well,
like detailing.
there's lots of
sometimes.
stuff that you can see on them. Like, we're not doing that, right? No TikTok doctors, no TikTok dermatologists, no
Ooh.
TikTok anything that has to do with anything. What we breathe, what we touch,
Okay.
what we feel. Let's just get away from that.
All
Now,
right.
your method sounds legit because
is, yeah.
I can see the plan there, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's certain things that I'm just like, yeah, I don't do that. Now, with that said, do I mix my own Dawn Power Wash at home? I do. I make my own.
That I have not tried yet. I just buy it because I do feel like they do
Sid.
such a great job.
No, Sid,
Man.
save
Tough
the
sell.
money. Save the money.
Anthony,
It
you're
is-
talking to a girl who spends $10 a day to go get coffee.
I-
6 on the coffee, 4 on the gas.
I know,
Oh.
and another 5
A
on
day.
the
That's
power
people
wash. I
gas.
know, which is not good. So let's eliminate some of the spending there. Dawn Power Wash it. It's a very simple.
How do you remake it?
Okay, so empty
Oh.
bottle.
Empty a bottle.
Empty bottle,
Uh-huh.
right?
Oh, now everybody's
and-
gonna go home and do this.
Empty
We're
bottle.
gonna get a cease and
Empty-
desist
you-
from
you-
Dawn Power Wash.
No. They did this to themselves, right?
Hopefully they're
So
watching.
You need to look up.
We got a new watcher.
You need to look up the actual there's a ratio there, and
Because
I'm
there's a little
just
bit of alcohol, right?
correct. But I'm just gonna ballpark it and just
Okay.
tell you I think what
Okay.
ballpark.
Don't
might
anybody
be,
write
right?
this down.
Don't write this down specifically, but I think it's like something like 4 tablespoons of Dawn dish soap or something of that
Okay.
nature, or
Okay.
it could be 2 tablespoons.
Now,
whatever
is
it
this the ultra or is this original OG
just original,
blue?
just the blue
Okay.
one, right?
Okay.
So it's some type of ratio where it's like 4 tablespoons or 2 tablespoons. I can't remember off the top of my head. But
Mm-hmm.
what I use this, when you look at the label, you fill up to a certain point
Oh,
with
okay.
this, and then you fill up to the next point with this, and then you mix the rest of the water. So it's like
Okay.
4 tablespoons of soap or 2 tablespoons of soap, and then half of that, I believe close to half of that with IPA, right? So you can do like
Okay.
a 90%
Yeah.
or whatever it is. So you're doing like 1 tablespoon of IPA or 2 tablespoons of IPA, whatever it is that you're
Okay.
wanting to mix. And then the rest is just filled with just warm water.
It's
and
not.
then
Oh gosh.
and
It's
then,
not.
And then yeah, same formula that you use. And then you
Yeah.
mix the rest of the water, then you shake it up, and it's good to go, right?
Okay.
And it literally performs exactly the same. It's a perfect solution,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll save you like a ton of money because you're literally using like 10 cents worth of soap and IPA to save like $5. But you still need the container though,
Okay,
right?
I'll
for
try
the
it.
for the foaming effect.
Yeah, I'll try it.
But that is the one thing. Which I don't know if I think I saw on Instagram Reels, but like that's one thing where I was like, oh, that's useful, right?
Okay.
Don't make a room spray out of freaking wax, but make if you're already using Dawn, just figure out how to
Okay.
spray Dawn.
And then I can make it whatever scent I want because I can just use essential oils, right?
You could use essential oils, and what you can also do is just mix up a whole gallon of it, and then you go get distilled water, right? And then just do the ratio, shake it up, and then just save it, and then refill
Okay.
your thing as needed.
Okay.
So
I'll try it.
Joey's not sold. I ain't homemade Dawn Power Wash. Get out of here, Fisher.
Yes, you are. You guys are actually ridiculous.
I'm going to try it because you know how
Hold
bougie
on.
I am and how much I just love for things to be done for me. So I'm going to go ahead and try it, though.
Okay, here
I'll
it
try
is.
it.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I'll try it.
here. I know I got it right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, it was exactly right. So here it is. So to make Dawn Power Wash, combine 2 to 4 tablespoons of Dawn dish soap, right?
2 to 4. That's a big ratio.
And it depends on how strong you want it, I guess. And then 1 to 2, and then 1 to 2 tablespoons. then one
There. No, we just read a screen.
1 to 2 tablespoons of
That's a
70%
dangerous
IPA,
camera angle.
Yeah,
and then
right?
mix the rest with water. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward. Okay, so 4 U.S. tablespoons, 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
So
All right.
it's that easy, and you guys are going to be ripping and
You missed
tearing.
the whole thing.
What happened?
Too funny.
What did I miss?
No, I actually love this. This definitely creates some interesting ideas. And speaking of interesting ideas, I do want everybody who's watching right now, who's kind of heard what we've talked about, like the new live streams, all that kind of stuff that's going to be going on. I want to crowdsource some new ideas. Like we obviously are coming up with our own brainstorming. Jimmy, Glenn, Anthony, all working on stuff to kind of like throw them out there. But we're taking input. So like, is there something that you guys think might result in something funny that still like comes across as professional-ish? You know, something that if we were to do like a live production of it, could result in a video that you'd find fun and worth watching, but still actually has a point to it. Is there a question you want answered? Is there a product that interests you? It doesn't have to be like DIY products made at home, but it's that kind of thing where, you know, you haven't had a chance to see it done live, maybe. And we might give it a shot. No guarantee, but I want you guys to think about that, and then I want you to throw your suggestions down in the chat, and we'll pop some up, and maybe we'll discuss them and see if there's some meat on that bone. That sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
So that brings us to a good little halftime segment here. We actually think of some ideas. We are going to go to a brief and last commercial break of Q&A. I'm just kidding.
Somber.
I mean, I don't want to say it like that. We're going to a brief commercial break. We're going to hear from ourselves as well as our brand partners, and we'll be back here. Just a
We
few
will
minutes.
be back. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Promise.
Promise.
Court is now in session. Mr. Nick, you stand accused of stealing Optimum No Rinse and several microfiber towels.
Stealing is a big word, Your Honor. I call it borrowing the shine.
Borrowing usually involves asking first. We found multiple boxes with rag company logos on them, no receipts, and a suspiciously clean car parked outside.
That's not suspicious. That's called attention to detail.
Attention to detail and a disregard for invoices.
Hey, results speak louder than paperwork.
Mr. Nick, do you deny using Optimum No Rinse without official authorization?
I just wanted my car to look as good as Fabian's does. He made rinseless washing look so easy.
Yeah, because I watched their tutorials and bought their stuff legally.
Ha, show off.
Order in court! Wait a second, you're one of us.
One of who? Guys, this is still a trial, right?
Case dismissed. On one condition.
Huh?
And that is?
Can you please send me the link of that product?
Of course, Your Honor.
Hello, and welcome back to the Q&A Thursday that you know and love and is changing for the future. That's right. I'm leaning into Anthony's doom and gloom over here.
All right.
No, actually, it is changing, but it's not dead. It's not gone forever. It is evolving, and that means you're going to be seeing a little bit less of us each week, but what you do see is going to be amazing. Like, it really will be a ton of fun, and it's already starting next week, so you won't be missing out for long. It'll actually be on Friday. I believe I heard 2 o'clock is what I heard, and it is at 2 o'clock. That is Friday. What day is that? 24th?
Mountain Standard Time.
24th.
24th.
MST.
Okay. Wow. So beware. There is a live stream coming your way of the new style. And I'm just going to say, if you guys enjoyed those live streams we did, those like practice kind of warm-up streams before TRSEMA, that's kind of like a little bit of a taste of kind of what we're going for. But these are going to be, well, this one we're doing next Friday is a little unhinged, just in the idea alone. It's going to be a really good time. Testing household products, but maybe not in the way you think for a detailing channel. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that. Let these folks...
So 2 p.m. MST. Well, good question. MST and GMT are the same thing, right?
No. MST stands for Standard Time. MDT is Daylight Time. You have to make sure that you're using the correct one.
What's GMT?
GMT is Greenwich Mean Time.
I thought it was General Mountain Time.
No, it's Greenwich Mean Time. That's where the source...
Holy crap.
Yeah, and then from GMT
That's
to
like
wherever you're
base.
located is plus
Yeah.
or minus
that's
an
like
hour
base.
from GMT. So
Yeah.
from Greenwich,
Oh my
moving
God.
out, we are, if I recall correctly, we're Greenwich plus 6 or 7, something like
I
that.
think 6.
I thought we were
6?
General plus 6.
No, so we're GMT
General-
plus 6. So
I'm pretty sure it's
anyway,
plus 6.
sorry, we're way out
We're
in the
not-
weeds
we're
here.
So Mountain Standard Time is what we're in.
Now that we've moved back from daylight savings times, I just say mountain time to be safe. Because I can never remember if daylight
But
is
are
when
we?
it's
But we're the
on
same
or
time as
off.
Denver, no matter what, though, right?
Yes, we are mountain time.
Yes.
That is how that works.
The one
Okay.
that we vary from is
They're
Arizona.
screaming at you for general mountain time. They're
Arizona.
like, holy.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so funny,
That's
dude.
hilarious.
It's Greenwich Mean
'Cause-
Time,
'cause,
bro.
you know, 'cause you think Pacific,
General Mountain Time.
Pacific Standard
So
Time, Eastern Standard Time.
It's Central. You forgot about
GMT,
Central.
it's like, well, I mean, it's General Mountain area, so I mean, it's a General Mountain Time, I
Okay.
suppose.
So right now it would be MDT, Mountain Daylight Time.
Gotcha, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about-
Anyway,
okay, gotcha, move
not
on.
to confuse people, but Mountain Time, 2:00 p.m. On Friday next week. Not this Friday, but next Friday. You can look forward to a very fun live stream. And if I'm not mistaken, that one could be turned into an actual video, like edited after the fact, where they kind of tighten it up, they button it up, and they make it into something they think that the main channel audience will like. Because frankly, live viewers and video viewers are two very different groups of
Totally different
people
group
in
of
our
people,
experience on this channel.
Yeah.
And y'all know, like, maybe you guys watch some of the videos, but like there are people who watch all our videos who seem to never have a clue that we actually do live streams.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
we're trying to work on that, guys. We really are. But all I can ask is that you help us steer that ship by being awesome commenters, leaving those fun chats below, and we'll keep the thing running. But in the meantime, I saw some really fun ideas pop up. I got a lot of people talking about, everything that we talked about there. Yeah, no, Alkaline just losing his mind at General Mountain Time. Really, really blew that one. Let me go back here. Let's see. We've got Juice, very excited, by the way, from that ad that we ran. That last one there, that was Hans Closen as judge popping into TRC EU to handle, get down to business, take care of that thing until the dragon tattoo came into play, and then it all got turned on its head.
That's funny.
I look forward to whatever they come up with as a sequel to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's fun. Let's go ahead and throw out some... Ooh, I like this. Okay, so Amber actually found us because of the Cheap Car Challenge.
Oh,
that's
that's
really cool. I didn't know that, Amber.
That's
Thank you for
fun.
sharing. That's awesome.
I did not know that
And
either.
let that be a lesson to you. If there are videos where we like reference them and you're like, I don't know what that is, try looking it up. Go back and watch it. Regardless of like how timely some of the advice in them may be, they're still a fun watch. I know that's one of my absolute favorite things we ever did on this channel.
Maybe we need to do like a throwback series and like
Throwback
redo
series.
some of the old videos because there's
There's
some good ones out there.
always good
Yeah.
chances you can redo a video
Yeah.
and it feels fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the hard part is just doing the same thing over and over again and
Right.
people feel like it's stale. But that's the people who like tune into everything.
Right.
The hard part is you're always reaching a new audience. So
Yeah.
while somebody who's hung around forever feels like it's old hat, to
Right.
somebody else is like, wow, this is the first time I'm hearing this. And that's the constant battle of
Yeah.
being like a YouTuber, is figuring out
Right.
how much do you lean in one direction or the other.
Yep.
All right. David, confused why I know these things.
I love that I've started this whole
Yeah,
like
no,
it is
we
the
lost
comments have
it.
gone
They're-
into
Oh,
the whole.
no.
I mean, but honestly, it's all confusing crap, anyways. I mean,
Yeah.
it sucks to have to remember
Right.
everybody's
Yeah. Right.
time zones and stuff like that. You know what I was thinking about the
Yeah.
other day too? It said this is ridiculous. So I was thinking to myself, why can't I just call somebody in the UK just right now.
Yeah.
Just call them.
Right.
Well, the
No.
dial tone sounds different.
No loopholes to jump
Right.
through.
Yeah.
No stupid.
In 2026. Yeah.
No stupid crap
Right.
to deal with, right?
Yeah.
Like no long distance caller fee.
Yeah.
If I can connect via Wi-Fi and literally FaceTime somebody, right? Or Instagram call them or whatever it is, why can't I just call somebody in another country? Anything, anywhere.
We'll probably
China,
get there.
Thailand,
We'll
Canada,
probably get there.
freaking the South Pole, right?
Yeah.
What is the reason why our satellites, which do communicate to each other frequently for thousands of things, just make a call go through?
Oh, yeah.
If the internet can do it.
Yeah, we'll probably get there. You're probably not old enough. Do you remember ever having to dial long distance to talk to your family in the
Yes.
state next
Yeah.
door?
Yes.
Yeah, you had to buy like long distance calling
You'd
cards.
buy calling
It was
cards.
like a special thing. Yeah.
So we'll get there
Like
eventually.
when my mom would be like, "Your grandma's calling from Oregon. You got to answer it." I'm just like, "Oh God!" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hi, how's it going?"
Yeah.
Well, don't take up too
I
long.
only have 3
right?
minutes.
We have 3
Yeah.
minutes left, right? And
Yeah.
it pass it to the other kids before okay, I'm passing around.
So,
So
I
we'll
do,
get there. We'll
I
get
do
there.
want to shout out Detail Grind Podcast here. Friday at 2 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time is
Oh,
a
there
great
you go.
lead-in for our
Yeah.
5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time show. Thanks for the support, fam.
Very true.
Yes.
Very
so
true.
those guys, if you don't know, it's
We're going to give
Joey
you
and
something to talk
Alex.
about.
Yes, that definitely it will be something. All I know is you better be screen recording on your phone some of the stuff
Yeah.
that happens. I guarantee you there's going to be some visuals
Yeah.
you're going to want handy for the podcast.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there right now.
Yeah.
Juice says that you can dial. You just have to dial 9 first. What I'm trying to say is, well, yes,
Right.
you can dial. I don't know about you guys. Every time I've tried to dial, even just with my cell phone, like when I
Yeah.
used to call
Yeah.
the ambassadors,
Right.
calls did not go through.
Right.
They would ring or they wouldn't answer it, or there would be some weird dial tone thing, right? I would have to jump through some weird loophole.
Yeah.
Whether I was pressing 1-9 or then 9, then 1, then whatever the country code was, right? Oftentimes it wouldn't even go through, so then I would
Right.
have to WhatsApp them, or
Yeah.
they don't have access to accept the call,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm just trying to say is,
Yeah.
just why not make that crap easy and just
Right.
you just call anybody anytime?
Yeah.
What's the big deal in
Right.
2026?
Yeah. No, I feel you on that for sure.
But you're right that we had minutes. We had like,
Yeah.
can you believe? I just
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Woodcock here saying WhatsApp via internet is great. Not quite midnight here. So,
see,
yeah.
I refuse
no,
to
it
use
works.
WhatsApp because I don't know about you guys, but I get like the wrong
Oh,
people.
there's like some
the
crazy
wrong
scammers and stuff
people
on there.
on WhatsApp.
I'm always looking out
So
for that.
I don't use it.
But what's funny is like in every other country besides the U.S., WhatsApp is like the go-to.
Yeah.
Everybody uses it.
I'm not a fan.
And, I'm just used to doing iMessage.
Yeah.
Well,
I just
what I'm
wanna
wanting to
dial.
know-
I feel you. I just want to dial.
So going to your country code, right? Thinking about that,
Hans wants you to
I'm
call
curious.
him.
Does anybody have my phone number in any other
Don't
country?
encourage him.
I'm not going to give it out, but I'm just saying, does anybody have my phone number in China?
Yeah.
Does anybody have my phone number in Russia?
Oh, yeah. No, probably.
Do they?
Anywhere. Yeah, the
Do you-
dark web definitely has your phone number.
No, I'm
You
saying,
have provided
no,
it.
Dane. Does somebody have my identical phone number, which warrants a country
Oh,
code?
different. I thought you
code.
meant, okay.
Which
okay.
does anybody else have my phone
No,
number
because
in any
country
other?
codes are a thing.
Okay,
Country code
Even-
automatically
okay.
makes it different.
so then why can't we just call people?
Do they have 10-digit phone numbers?
I believe so.
When it all depends on where you're calling.
Well, for the most part, yeah. I
If
think
you're in
it's
the area
around 10.
and you have the proper SIM or eSIM, you can do that stuff. But frankly, the internet's a great equalizer. You could just
I
simplify
don't know. I just
So-
that's the one part that I just go, whatever.
Anyway,
It's the same reason why everybody's still on, there's still the Android versus iPhone debate, and
Oh, boy.
why Androids still take photos like they're from the 1990s.
some people
no,
like potatoes.
no matter what, the Galaxy is the nicest camera in the world, but you upload to the internet,
Cue
and it
other
looks like it
people
was
calling you an
taken
Apple
with
fanboy.
with a potato.
Yeah.
So Robert Clark here with us. So does this mean Anthony will have time to go on the grind?
5 o'clock on a Friday.
Oh, 5 o'clock on a Friday, man. I'm a dad then, so.
I mean, you're sitting in traffic. You can put it on your phone.
Yeah.
You drive while
Yeah,
stuck in
take the
traffic.
hour
You just
for
kind
your
of talk.
drive home. Sit on the
It's a little
detail
bit of
grind.
distracted driving, but details official.
Dane
was
did it
very
from the deck
fun.
last week.
That's true. I did. I was on the back deck. Yeah. I magnetized my phone onto a
Yeah,
metal
it was great.
railing post, and I just talked to it. It
Yeah.
worked great.
Yep.
Totally worked.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sal and Joel here. It was very fun to have them here
Yes.
during the show. So shout out those guys. Details Official, very cool. They also did a video that I saw about their experience from TRSEMA. So if you want to watch that, go check it out. Those guys are fun. Then we've got a bunch of people saying main detailing time and detail grind time. So there's just a lot of
I love that.
different
GT.
time
That's
codes.
actually, they should use that.
They should.
Honestly,
It's
we'll see at
Oh,
five.
no.
We'll see at
Yeah.
5 p.m. DGT. Yeah.
Hippopotamus Stew here. Anthony's so cute, trying to figure out telling time and
I
making
know.
phone calls in 2026. Listen, you come to Anthony for detailing advice, you're going to get very solid advice.
Yeah.
Come to him asking him about
Life
how to
skills.
make phone calls
Yeah.
or what time it is. You might
I
maybe
do
talk
think
to Sydney.
I do
maybe
think
talk
though
to me.
I still am very much in the generation of like I still do like making a call like and talking to a friend, but I have my friend group is split straight up like 50-50. I have friends that do not want to answer a call. Never. They'll never answer a call. They want it to be texted.
Yeah.
But then I have other friends that will answer. Right. Sometimes, most of the time, the older ones. Like I guarantee you, if I call Levi right now, he'll pick up. Right. 100%. But if I were, I don't know. If I were to call Dane. Actually, every time I call Dane, he usually answers. He goes, "Hey, Anthony, is everything okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, Dane, everything's freaking fine. What's wrong with you?" And he goes, "Well, I
Just
just
call me.
I saw that you're calling me. It's 7 p.m. on a Saturday night,
It
and
was Sunday.
I didn't know if
I was with
everything
family
was
Oh my
at dinner
gosh.
table.
fine or not." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just calling you to say, hey, what's going on? What are you doing?" "Well, I mean, I'm just here with my folks right now, and we're about to watch a movie." "Okay, cool. Give them my love. Tell them I say hi."
I have set up my life in such a way that the only times I receive phone calls are either spam, whatever random like automated bot messaging thing I don't want because a phone number got leaked somewhere.
Yeah.
Or it's an emergency.
Yeah.
Or it's something that's like important and
Yeah.
a text wasn't enough to get my attention.
Yeah.
Or it's somebody calling for like a project that I set up to
Right.
like
Yeah.
pay somebody to do like gutters or the deck
Yeah.
thing or something like that.
Yeah.
Those are the times I am okay, I get a phone call. I'm dealing with that.
Yeah.
But when somebody, like I know calls me and they're just calling to like chill, that's such a foreign concept to me because I just avoid phone calls. I'm not a phone call guy.
I'm
not
not
a phone
either.
call
That's
person.
what
Yeah.
that goes to my
Weirdly,
point.
I'm a podcast person,
Not
but
a
I'm
phone
not a
call
phone
guy.
call
Yeah,
person.
I'm not a
phone
phone
call.
call person. Unfortunately, I
Just
do
text
spend
me.
like 7 hours a day on the phone, but
Just
I'm not a phone call person.
No.
I think the worst text I get is like, "Do you have a few minutes to talk?" And I'm like, "No."
And it's cryptic, so you're just like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
I'm
is
like,
this
"No,
gonna
actually, I
be-"
don't. I don't have.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get spam calls, but here's the other thing, though, too. Nobody calls me. Straight up, dude. I don't got anybody ever calling me. Like, if I
Yo,
did
Hurl,
have
is that
people call
sarcasm?
me, I'm going to pick up.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick up almost every single time. Straight up. I
Really?
will pick up almost if somebody is, I'm not even kidding. If Joey were to call me on a Saturday, I'm picking up the phone. Like,
Well,
if-
I would pick up the phone for Joey too,
But
but
yeah. Anybody calls me, I'm probably, I mean, minus a spam call, probably just going to pick up. It's easier for me to just get what I need to get done in that phone call, whether it's whatever it needs to happen, than it is for me to go back and forth between a text and then I forget to respond and then days go by and then I just don't get to it. And I mean, Glenn's calling you right now.
oh my gosh,
I'm like, that's
Hey, Glenn.
crazy. Wow.
Told you I'd pick up.
Make sure you
Oh
hold
my
it up to
gosh.
the phone or
She-
to the mic
she
here.
just wanted to make sure that I did in fact pick up, and I'm going to hang up now.
my gosh.
But
Oh.
I will always pick up. Basically, that's how I'm wired.
man.
Yeah,
I
Glenn works.
I
And so
avoid picking
I
up
think
as
it's like
much
a
as I can.
respect thing where
Huh.
it's like somebody I'm calling. If they like me, they'll probably pick up. But to my point, though, I guess what I'm trying to say is phone calling in 2026 is strange. We're getting further and further away from any bit of that, pretty much ever. But I think it'll make a comeback. I think in 20
calling?
years, or something like that, they'll be like, "Hey, so and so called me," and they'd be like, "What? No way! That's awesome! That's like super cool, right?" So they didn't just snap you the single word, with the blank background. No, they actually called me. It's gonna be cool.
So you want to know my favorite communication style, and I'm trying to teach my friends
Okay,
this, but
what you got?
I do this with Joey and Alex. But Kelly Mankin, my friend, we will have an entire phone conversation through voice memo.
Oh, yeah.
That is my
they
favorite.
said that here.
That is my yes. Except when they get them, they sit down.
Oh, okay.
But because usually it means I got something to say.
Ooh.
But I do voice memo Joey and Alex all the time. But Kelly and I, for all day, will voice memo back and forth. But we never speak. I mean, we do talk on the phone. But you know what I mean? That's like my favorite type of conversation is through voice memo. Because then we still hear each other. Yeah. But it's on our own time. Yeah. And I love that. Yes, I am a major voice memo. That's so funny, Joey.
I think that's how I address the boys there in the chat because they know I'm horrible at texting. I'm like the worst at texting back and I forget.
They're all making up a Russian doppelganger.
Oh so I usually if I have to address everybody, I'll just voice memo them and just do it that way. But phone calls are, still like them, but they're going away.
As much as I hate them, I still am on the phone. Like easily, I bet 5 hours a day I'm on the phone. Easily, even though I hate it.
Oh, man. Joey says he's going to start calling me to chat. No, it's a bunch of, So I screen my calls. If it's somebody I know and we're having an event and I know they're part of the event, then I do pick up because I'm like, oh, they're probably like lost and need directions. Right. Or something like that. Otherwise, if it's just a regular day, if it's Anthony, more often than not, I will pick up.
Yeah, I pick up because
if it's one of us, then there's probably a good reason why. Right. Which is why when he's like, I just wanted to chat, then I was like, oh, see, my heart like races. I'm like, what happened? Because that's what I think when I get a phone call.
Not necessarily an emergency, but like
Dean, that
out
is
of the ordinary.
Can you tell I'm actually an anxious person?
Yeah, that might be an anxiety disorder.
For sure. Yeah. So I screen my calls. If it's important, you'll leave a voicemail. If you don't leave a voicemail, I'll just assume it's not important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up. Now, there's a lot of people down here saying that they want Russian Anthony, and I was really enjoying that. So we're getting some comments here.
We get on Russian
Anthony? We did get a couple detailing questions we probably should answer.
He's best. Okay, we're going back here. We'll find ammonia and
so I think the reason why I'm thinking back to why do I love phone calling? I think it's because I growing up with a Portuguese father, right? Anthony, I gotta make some phone calls, right? He'd be like on the phone, he'd be like calling all of his friends, and he's like, I gotta call a guy about something, right? You always say he's gotta call he always had a guy for everything, obviously, but like he would never tell me who he's calling, right? He's like, I gotta call the witch doctor, right, for my back, right? And he would like go to a chiropractor witch doctor in the middle of the woods, right? I told the detail of the boys this one, but or he had, I don't know, he had a guy he was a chicken guy who had provided premium chickens that were like freshly killed, right? So he'd go and like get these chickens.
Wow.
So like he had a guy for everything. So he was always on the phone. So like my childhood, I remember, would be driving in, he was either in his Chevy Blazer, sometimes his 350Z, or he had some vehicle, right? Where there would be the faint sound of Portuguese music in the background playing through the radio. That he wouldn't let me change because he's like, I need to listen to this. I'm like, why? He's like, because I get the newest song from, straight from Lisbon, whatever, right? And then he'd be on the phone talking and making deals with people as he was just calling in I don't know, making these deals. So phone calls, I go, well, that's a good way to get things done. And that just seems like a normal thing. And what was interesting is whenever he called somebody, they always picked up. He never had anybody not pick up the phone. Wow. It was amazing. Like, it was amazing. I was like, how did they always pick up? Well, yeah, why wouldn't they? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe what if they can't get to the phone? They'll get to the phone. So then for some reason I always have this expectation like, well, maybe if I'm important, then they'll answer the phone. So Dane will answer the phone, but he'll think something is wrong. Yep. But I have a lot of friends that simply will not answer.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm not important.
Yeah, Tony Mazzell, he won't answer my calls. And I texted him last week and I said, nobody sends me to voicemail faster than you do.
Really?
Like, nobody. See, it won't even ring and it'll just go to voicemail and I'll be like,
can't do the
Tony.
send to voicemail because that to me is like super passive aggressive.
Yeah.
I do that.
No, I watch it ring.
Message,
I watch it ring and go to voicemail on its own.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just sends me to voicemail right away. And so I text him and I go, wow. Nobody sends me to voicemail faster than
Ryan
Tony
here
Mazzell.
loves this. He says it's like an old main show.
I'm glad you like it.
And then Dan's Diamond with a Hey Family. So we do have some detailing questions here.
Okay.
But when I said this was an old school Q&A, what I meant was we are going to avoid answering detailing questions for as long as possible. No, not really, but that's how it almost always turns out. So we are going to go back and actually find some detailing questions. I'm going way back in there. Let's take a look. Go for BC said, I was so lucky to be the day 3 winner of the TRC
Nice.
giveaway. Major props to Anthony for pronouncing my name properly as Stefan or Steven. Usually it's Stefan, I would say, but with the PH.
I'm not even going to try again.
No,
because,
you're like, I'm not gonna jinx it.
I'm not going to try again.
I was
so.
already branded because Dane Rocks and TRC has me as TRC for. Oh, buddy.
That's awesome.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Also,
Man, those
it's snowing
TRC
and
yeah.
soaking in Salt Lake City right now.
1 of 4. That's awesome.
Those are great
Those were
prizes.
so
Those are killer.
good.
What was
Yeah.
was day 3?
Day 3 would have been the IK day. Did it have all the IK stuff?
Oh, I think it did.
Yeah.
Ego,
I think
Flex,
that
and
was-
KCX.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
a good deal.
Yeah.
That was a really good
Really
day.
good.
So,
That was a good.
You got the tire inflator,
Ooh.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Ah.
Sydney wants to talk to you.
Jeez, yeah.
And thank you. This is the Borealis.
Nice. I like
all
that.
right,
Yeah,
for
very
the
cool.
Dixon there. Okay, let's see. We've got. Does anyone know? Okay, so this is a question from Dean. Does anyone know if I can dilute down nanoskin heavy-duty acid to remove water spots off of paint, or should I stay away from it? I know it's kind of a slippery slope.
I've never used.
I've
nanoskin
never
heavy
used
acid.
that, but I think as a general rule, you don't dilute acid, do you? Or do you?
Oh, you can you can dilute acid.
Can
yeah.
you?
So like McGuire's Will Brightener,
Okay.
you could dilute that to really whatever you
Oh,
need
yeah,
it
yeah.
to be used
Okay.
for.
I'm thinking
So-
like water spot remover. I guess the ones I have
not
that are
one
water
that's
spot
sold
remover
as
you
a,
don't, but
yeah,
yes, the
you don't-
aluminum brightener for
yeah,
sure.
Not one that's sold as a water spot remover. So
Yeah.
basically,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I've never used that one.
Oh my goodness.
He's.
Oh
Flaunting.
I'll
man.
trade you a snowblower.
Whoa, that's actually.
No, I can't do the snowblower.
That's a pretty big tray.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I almost bought a snowblower this year.
we love our
'cause
Evo
I was
snowblower.
expecting. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be prepared.
Yeah.
And we didn't get one
Not one.
snowflake.
I think Mike got his out once, but now he wants the Ego dethatcher.
they have a dethatcher.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, they do not.
They do. He just asked me yesterday. He said, "Can I please get a
Oh
dethatcher?"
man.
Yeah.
Because I've been wanting to look into like getting renting an aerator or something like that, like a dethatcher.
Well, I think I'm gonna buy it, so I'll let you borrow it.
Okay,
Because I mean, you only need it once a year.
Yeah, I
This is
know.
awesome. So we got another
so cool.
giveaway
Yeah.
winner here, day 2. So
Ah.
Melissa
Day 2 is
here.
also
So
a good
you
day.
got
Yeah,
the
very good.
they got the was it the university set or the which set of
Yep,
brushes
Vermeil.
did they get?
The Vermeil.
The
set.
Vermeil?
Yeah,
Was it
the
the university?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you got the brushes and the PNS stuff, and what else was on Tuesday? Buff and Shine. Oh,
Yeah.
you got the Buff and Shine.
Yeah.
G-Technic. Yeah, so cool.
People have been
Yeah.
fighting to
I
get a
love
hold
that.
of those Vermeil
That was the full
ones.
coating kit too. From
Yeah.
G-Technic.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah,
good
very
one.
cool.
Alex, main show kept me sane when I was on the road a lot for work. On to the next chapter. So I think that was the thing for a lot of people. Thing is, for people who are like newer to us and haven't experienced all that stuff, I have the entire backlog saved on YouTube. I actually built out a playlist with every single episode on there. Just says the Rag Company podcast. You can go back. We're talking in excess of 1,000 episodes of stuff.
Yeah.
It'll probably say like 700 or 800 stuff, but I swear there's more than that. Anyway, definitely check it out if you haven't had a chance. And I like this one here from Dan saying, Alpha Tango has a point. This was how I really came into the community. It doesn't mean don't change, just keep an eye on building the close-knit community. Agreed.
Yeah.
And that is something that, once
Yeah.
again, regardless of what you guys may think or feel, that is something that is, a
Yeah.
closely held belief for us.
Yeah,
I know I
for
can speak for
sure,
all of
for
us
sure.
when we have those meetings
Yep.
and we talk about what can we do realistically that would help improve viewership for these
Yeah.
things while not alienating people. So we definitely want to build on that. I did see Detail Grind saying that maybe they should switch to Thursdays since they see a slot
you go.
freeing up. I mean,
Ooh.
I'm not going to tell you no if that's something you wanted to do.
I would be all down for that. I'm not going to say. Friday nights are like the witching hour around my house.
I think, Fridays
Friday
are
at
kind of
5?
weird.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, go for BC. I'll miss the old format and the off-topic humor it created, but I get the need to move away from a live stream. Now, that's the thing. We're keeping the live stream. It's not going away. It's just kind of transforming a little. But it's hard enough to keep a cadence on pre-recorded content is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I was going to stress was, in our experience, everywhere we've gone and just, the people we've met, the programs we've been on, I feel like one of the things that always stood out with us was we were really well developed when it came to live content in a way that I think a lot I had a harder time with. You put a camera in front of them and they kind of clam up and stuff. there's something about just us just like brute forcing it, coming in week after week and really doing this. I feel much more comfortable doing these live streams and things than even doing like a regular video. But it's funny when you get people who are like really good and polished in videos who suddenly come on a live stream and they're just like buffering.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a
and
skill set.
Another thing that I can see coming from this is, we talk about like the main channel or the main podcast that used to happen. I know a lot of us would go back and listen, right? Because if we didn't see it live, we wanted to know what happened. And so what I think will happen from this is we talk about the two different audiences. We have the Q&A audience, and then we have the main channel audience. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to bring the main channel audience into the live audience, because they're going to figure it out that this video was shot under a live. And so what I can see happening is them going back on the channel and going, well, I want to see how this was filmed. Like people are going to see the two distinct differences between the finished product and the live, that I think it's going to cause those audiences to cross over. I really do.
And that's what I'd love to see.
Yeah.
But I wanted to share Tamara here saying, I've learned so much about car care from all of you. I appreciate it. We always love seeing you here, Tamara. So thank you for popping in and saying that. And
truly the reason we're here.
Definitely, definitely. I hope your recovery is going well as well. Yeah. But yes, Lucas will be involved in some of those lives. I promise you, he will definitely
We'll have
a
friends
place.
join us for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a little wacky. And one thing I want to stress about these upcoming lives and stuff is the fact that, you guys are kind of getting like a first peek. It's like a behind the scenes thing before the actual thing happens. You know how like you'll see a movie and the behind the scenes stuff doesn't get released until like after.
Right.
When it comes to these are potentially going to become main channel videos, but you're going to get a chance to see how the sausage is made. You're going to get a chance to like actually influence it a bit. We want you guys to be wacky, funny, your usual selves in the best way we know how in the chat. We want you guys doing that during these live streams.
Yeah.
We don't want to miss out on that. So I don't want you guys to feel like this has to be some button down thing. It really doesn't. We're actually going to encourage kind of the wackiness. So we want to keep it fun. We still want to be educational. Above all else, at the end of the day, we are trying to educate and give people something that they can actually walk away and go, I learned something today. But we don't want it to be boring. Yeah. So that is a big part. Us sitting at this table notwithstanding, which I understand is not everybody's cup of tea. Bucky here is saying, we need a hand sanitizer explosion main show video.
That's what I'm talking about.
What can you tell us about that? When did that happen again?
I can't even remember what year. It had been, 2020?
That was a while ago, man.
2022. Olive Garden parking lot.
Yes.
Middle of summer. Dodge Ram 1500.
It had to have been like
Oh,
2020, 2021, right? If you were picking up to go.
Just picking up to go
Yeah.
with the window rolled down, or I think I said the window was rolled down. That hand sanitizer was shaking up because I was making my own hand sanitizer. I don't know if you remember that, but I had that. I was getting like that, we bought like this bulk amount of like this, I don't know, this gel sanitizer stuff, and then I was like throwing my own like scents in, right? And I think that was like the one that I had gotten the volcano scent essential oils, and I put it inside the thing, and but like for some reason like there was this weird heat effect that was happening to where it was like exploding, right? So when I popped the top, like it would like literally shoot out this sanitizer. I'm like shaking it up, but like shaking it because you had to like get it to the gel was so thick you had to get it to the top of the cap, right? And then I go to pop it and it explodes, and then I'm just oh my god, and then I get handed my food like by this girl, and I'm just like, that did not look good, and
Nope. Really doesn't look good.
Yeah.
What's this Hans saying? Don't text Anthony when at an event. He won't reply.
I don't think. Oh, maybe Hans did text me at one point at an event. I can't remember if he had my number.
Maybe we were at Patrick's shop.
Maybe
TRCEU.
But I think if you did message me, Hans, it would have been at like Waxstock, which that is not the place to probably message me when we're
pretty busy
at
there.
an event.
In fairness. Dan, most accurate description of old school Q&A. Yeah, the one where we say we're going to answer detailing questions and then we talk about literally anything else. Which, funny enough, everybody at this table, I know we all enjoy it, so hopefully you do too. But we do try and get some detailing in there in the mix as well, which, by the way, you guys can ask detailing questions. Like, I welcome it. I'll have to dig back through here to find some, but I know they're in there somewhere. So Ryan saying, I have to jump in a meeting. Just pausing the stream so I can jump back in. See you at the end. Love you all. Thank you,
Nice.
Ryan. We really appreciate you being
Yes.
here. We know you're one of the long-termers. You've been around, and we really do appreciate your input.
Yep.
And we're going to keep doing this thing. All right, I got Jay Foster here. Show idea. Bring back the Master of Shine for a Q&A so we can find out how Levi Gates is doing. I've always enjoyed discussions about his home details and kiddo adventures during the old Q&As. Those are definitely a thing.
The couch
And-
stabbings.
Yeah, the couch stabbing. Have to buy another new couch.
Oh,
Couch
God.
Did it
stabbings,
again.
the breaking of the windows in the house. I mean, you'd really be like, man, Augie is a very destructive child, right? And
Yeah.
and it wasn't
They've
until
grown up, though.
Yeah.
They have grown up, but
Yeah.
keep in mind, one of my favorite memories was when I was like, I was on a motorcycle ride, and I was just, because what would happen, right? To my point about Levi picking up, Levi's garage is always open as well, right?
Oh.
There's certain things about certain people
Yeah.
that you know this is what they do.
Yeah.
His garage is always open, and he's always there in it, right? Or not far from it, right? But I'd always go on a motorcycle ride over to East Boise, right? And I'd always do like that big loop around where kind of the reservoir is, and I'd come back around, and whenever I was over kind of near Bound Crossing, I'd go, I'll just ride by his house. So he's probably out there. And I ride by, and there he was out there, right? So I pull up, and Augie literally comes out, and he like, I can't remember what he was asking. Dad, where's my hammer? And he's like, I don't know, Augie, probably put over on the side of the house next to the stump, right? In the what's it called?
In my forging stump.
No, he would say next to the stump near the forge, but next to his trailer. What we call the trailer, green bean, the truck bed trailer,
yeah,
right?
truck bed trailer,
Yeah.
green
So
bean.
the combination of
yeah.
things is probably between this, but on there he's like, okay. So he goes and grabs it, and then he comes out and he just grabs a rock from the yard, puts it right onto the driveway concrete, and takes his hammer and starts smashing the rock into the driveway.
Like, what is this
And
accomplishing?
I see
What's happening
this,
here?
and it goes so. And my bike's like right by, and I'm like kind of thinking, okay, well, don't hit that.
Little,
But I'm
little
looking, and I
splinters
look
of
at
rock
Levi, and I go,
flying
what's the plan here, right? He's just gonna hammer this driveway until it just breaks. He's like, he's not gonna hurt anything. I could visibly see chunks of asphalt and granite, like
Just
like
exploding out of it.
exploding out of it. I'm like, are you sure he's doing some actual damage there? And he goes, nah, he's probably fine,
Oh,
right?
man.
So looking back to those days, I go, man, we really had some pretty entertaining stuff, you know.
Oh, man. So, and if you're looking for like a recent Levi thing, if you go back to our Christmas episode, we actually had him on in an interview at the end of the show. He's the last guest on there. So make sure you go check that out if you missed it by chance. So next up, I've got Johnny Davis with an actual detailing question here. Good day to you all. How many towels needed for a Honda Accord application of ceramic coat, specifically PNS Stout? I have 12 pearls and 36 creatures. You're off to a
You're
good start.
good.
Well, you have plenty.
You're good.
You have plenty.
You're fine.
So I only use one of each for an entire car. So one pearl and one creature. Towel one, towel two.
Stout doesn't have a horrible buildup issue
Yeah.
in the towel, so you'd be probably fine.
Yeah.
Remember, less is more. Get good coverage, but you don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to get those towels to where they're overfilling. Andrew says, "What's the most efficient chemical decon process?" Doing my first soon. I'm thinking Koch Chemi VB foam, rinse, Koch RS foam, then rinse, iron remover, rinse, tar remover, rinse, and contact wash.
He
Rinse.
washes his car like I wash my Miata in that one
Yeah.
segment. Like a lot of rinsing going on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you are doing that much rinsing. I think it's funny when you read it out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that would be fine. You could probably go through, if you're going to be polishing, I'm assuming, right? Then you could try to compile some of those things. I mean, the one thing I don't see here is your clay process.
Yeah.
So, are you planning on claying or not claying? Because what's going to probably be more important than some of those things, it's going to be just claying. An iron remover makes sense, right? But oftentimes you can pair that really closely with just your claying process. Tar remover, if and when necessary. I mean, like if you feel like if it needs, there's covered in tar, then use it. But don't use it just to use it. Also, too, so with the Koch foam, I mean, with anything foaming related, I find that if you're probably trying to hit this multiple pH process, you really don't have to do that if you don't really want to. You probably could just use something like reactivation shampoo, call it good, or you could use something like super foam, call it good. VB is also going to be higher pH as well. But yeah, most importantly out of all of that, I would be claying, if anything. That would be my preferred thing, along with possibly a fallout remover.
All right. Now I got one for Sid from Gardening on a Dime. Is there a reason PNS No Rub is aerosol only? I don't like spraying it in a car and breathing it into spray into a rag and apply that way. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, mainly it's the science behind the aerosol, right? And so it that's why it's called No Rub, is it allows you to almost pinpoint apply dressing. And then with the aerosol in there, it helps it kind of settle on its own and dry out. If you were using, I mean, you could certainly do any kind of dressing non-aerosol, but you're going to have to wipe it. So it's the delivery system and the results from that is coming from it being an aerosol. And so, I use it inside almost every single car I detail. I've never noticed that the spraying doesn't bother me to breathe it in. I think, I don't know. I mean, but I probably breathe in a lot that I'm not supposed to. So maybe it's like the lesser of the evils for me. But unfortunately, the result is it's because it's an aerosol.
Yeah, but I mean, you have ventilation in your garage.
Right.
You've got your mini split.
And I'm not spraying that much. I mean, I'm using it on the vents. I'm not using it to dress the interior. I'm using it on the vents, some of the cracks, maybe the seatbelt buckle. I mean, it's like 6 spritzes in the car. Yeah. So I don't really worry about it. If it bothers you, I would wear a mask. But the delivery system and the result is due to it being an aerosol. Okay. That's the beauty in it, unfortunately.
And to be honest, No Rub does leave.
It's so good.
Leaves a good look, man.
It's so good. Yeah.
We have a similar product that we have just over here at MVP over at the TRC storefront. And it smells like watermelon. And you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It smells really good.
Oh yeah.
And I always go, I just spray that just to smell it, just to get it in the air, right? Just to smell it. But I know I probably shouldn't be huffing the stuff. So. Joey Belinsky says, any favorite behind-the-scenes moments of TRCMA 2026 from each of you guys?
Oh, boy.
All right. What do we got? Something that stood out.
Yeah, how do I even put them into words? I don't know. I really enjoyed, Joey, you weren't there because you were suffering a allergy attack, but one of my favorites was sitting in the lobby. I don't often get to do the lobby talks because I live here. And so I'm not staying at the hotel with everybody. So I enjoyed the lobby talk this year. But I also just think that one thing that doesn't get shown on camera is the dinners. And I think each of them is unique, but I think just the friendships and the conversation and how much fun we have after hours, I think is probably, my favorite behind the scene moment is just something that other people don't get to see is just how much in this industry, how much everyone is just friends. There's not really competition, if there's 2 chemical companies here, there's no competition. And so I just love how everybody is just friends and we all go way back. And even if there's new people, they jump right in and I think that for me is, again, we've talked about community here, so I'll bring that up, is just the community even outside of our users, but the other brands that we work with is pretty cool.
No, I agree. And I would say the competition is kind of put into the background. It's they see themselves as people, not brands and companies. Yeah. So they understand that at the end of the day, it's competition, but at the same time, they're also but person to person, that's where you get the kind of rapport and everything that you really look forward to. For me, it was obviously I enjoyed the deck party when I was expecting maybe 5 or 6 people, and suddenly everybody shows up for the thing. So that was really fun.
The parking was crazy. I heard you say that on the detail grind about the the cavalry of vehicles pulling up, and it was pretty crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah. It was
just
pretty
that
crazy.
full-on caravan just rolling up, and not a van, but a literal just 8 cars, 9 cars.
It was crazy.
Watching everybody try and find their way into a spot up there while it was dark and raining.
Yeah.
So that was fun. That was cool.
Yeah.
What about you, Anthony?
Let's see. So I did not have this year. Did not have time to have my call it by Anthony garage therapy session, which is just everybody in my garage just venting their their life problems.
That's just when Matt is here.
That's just when Matt is here, I suppose, right? So maybe next year, right? No, I didn't have that this year. So really, my my nights were pretty simple. I mean, Dane's deck party was really fun. I also liked having our dinner over here that we had over at the Toy Box. That was nice. It was like an Italian dinner. It worked out well. I really liked that first night where we went to the Reef, and we had this. Basically, what we had is it's this restaurant / bar that it's not open on Mondays, but they rented out the whole facility or whole place to us and kind of catered it to us. And it's just a cool place. It's got good vibes.
Yeah.
Two stories with the rooftop, tiki
that was
bar.
cool.
It's got a tiki bar and all sorts of stuff. And so I really liked that. I thought that was a good time.
Yeah.
So, I had it was me, I think Ryan at Fine Detailing, Sal, Joel, everybody
RJ.
and then who else is up there? RJ, and then there was Tony. I think Tony's up there. No, it was Chris from G
Chris
Technic.
and Jordan.
So we were just there
Carson.
telling stories, just
Yeah.
talking about life and whatnot, and I had a lot of fun just kind of joking around with them. Because what I like to do is I'll give them the Anthony off camera, the off camera Anthony, and they
It's
don't
not safe for
and
working.
they're not safe for working, Anthony. And they and some of it I totally expect it. Like they know what I'm going to be talking about. Like we know Joey and Alex. They know exactly the type of person I am off camera, and I'll talk about. I'm the same person. It's just I'm a little bit more unfiltered.
You are you. You just you use words and say things that maybe
I probably
spice
can't,
it up
yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit more. Yeah.
But no,
which is how we all are.
To see the other guys being like, oh, that's funny. That it just it was a good time. So no, that was really good. But yeah, I'm hoping maybe next year, because considering that every tier SEMA we have the worst weather. We had one day
It's
of good
incredible
weather, and
how
then it
that
got
works.
bad again.
Yeah.
It's like a joke. We can't just get a sunny day.
No, it was insult to injury. The week
For
prior, we
TRC,
had an
beautiful.
amazing,
Yeah.
out of the blue, it just
Yeah.
went from being
Week prior- and
20,
week
30
after.
degree highs,
Yeah.
suddenly
And the week after,
70, 80 degree highs for
Yeah.
a week. And then, TRCMA is coming. Whoop, quick, turn it down.
Yeah.
And turn to rain clouds, all that.
Yep.
Fun. Okay, I'm going to throw another one out here. Juice was asking, hypothetically, if powder weren't an issue, what would you think of OxyClean Free and Clear powder for a microfiber laundry booster?
OxyClean powder, so you don't want to use that because
Powders are
OxyClean,
just
the
not-
powders do not completely dissolve.
Yeah.
Especially going into a microfiber, we'll call it a base, right? So like the towels themselves, right, in a particular weave, some of those particulates may not fully dissolve in one wash, right? Maybe not even in two washes, and so you just don't want to essentially risk an abrasive being stuck inside that towel. It's just not worth it. I know what
Yeah.
you're asking, and there's some things that do make sense in terms of what OxyClean is capable of doing, but not in a powdered form. Yes, Joey Valinsky says this. I don't even remember what stories I was telling. I don't even think it was anything that crazy that night. It was pretty normal. I think
That's Anthony, just normal Anthony.
I think Sal and the Details boys heard the real stories, but I still kept those relatively.
Thing is with
PG-13.
Anthony, you get all the same energy you would get outside of live streams and stuff with him here. It's just it's cranked up the content a little bit.
I don't think Sal knew I had as many stories as I do. And
No,
I'm
Sal
like-
was actually
and
surprised.
I was like, oh, dude, I had I want to say a whole life before the rag company, but I mean, like
We all did.
I've definitely there was probably a good 10 years where I was turned up to 11 on max experience of everything, right? Like how much can I experience in 10 years? And I didn't even realize that I had that going on until now. I'm like, oh, life's simple nowadays. And, so I
It says involved a forest?
Yeah.
Oh no.
involved.
That sounds
forest.
ominous.
Oh yeah, no, he's talking
Oh,
about
no.
he's talking about
No.
the story in the Netherlands. Yeah, yeah.
See now I realize. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
sorry.
there's
that's a story for anybody who wants to ask him. Just give Anthony a call, right?
There's
Just
a-
find it on the dark
There's a
web, his
particular
phone number.
forest in the Netherlands that Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
look
It's
out.
not the truck stop you think it is.
I've
The
seen
real
videos on
Andrew
that.
William. Are we going to get any Anthony RC content though? Wondering.
Not on. Yeah, probably. Unfortunately, not. No. That would be
That's
fun, though.
okay. You definitely find ways to do it anyway. Will Embry, I noticed PNS Full Send is sold out and has been mentioned in a few live streams. What's the buzz around it other than being a rubber and plastic coating? Sid.
I think the reason people probably love Full Send is because it self-levels on its own. So, compared to some other water-based silicone dressings, it just has a really nice finish and it has the ability for you to not fuss with it. The other thing that people really like is not only the smell, but like if you spray down your tire and you need to wipe it off the wheels, it wipes off super easy. So again, unlike other silicone dressings that can, make your wheels greasy and gross, this just wipes off really easy. It's just a really versatile, really, really great, base of a dressing.
All right. Electric Auto Detail. Anthony, you got this one.
Hey, I'm 13 years old and trying to avoid all the Instagram and detailer fluff. You're in the right place.
Valid.
Well, maybe you're in the right place. Do you think I should get an Uberflex hose, or could I just stick to a cheaper one? There's going to be probably some more affordable options out there. It just depends on what you are, kind of what you need, right? I mean, there's, I'm assuming Uberflex, you're going to use that for air, right? No, air or water. Uberflex doesn't make. They make air. Is it air or water on the Uberflex?
Do you know that one, Sid?
I don't.
Okay. Off the top of my head, yeah. It sounds familiar, but I wouldn't want to speak out
I feel
of
like
turn
it's
'cause I
probably
don't
water,
recall.
but
No, it is a water. Yes, sorry, it is water. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, no, you don't have to get an Uberflex hose. You can get quite a few different ones. They have you can get like a Cobra Jet for probably half the price of Uber. I think Cobra Jet's like half the price of Uberflex. What I would do though, there's actually some pretty decent hoses on Amazon lately. Within the last year, our hose game on Amazon has been improved dramatically. I even poo-pooed my dad who wanted to buy a really cheap hose on Amazon, and I
Remember,
told-
this guy's 13, so he's
No, I'm trying to save him money. So that's what I'm saying. I had a dad who bought my dad. I didn't have a dad. I do have a dad who bought a cheap hose, and I was like, it's not going to be very good. I used it, and I said, honestly, this isn't bad. And he's like, yeah, it was like $35 on Amazon. So I would check out some reviews on Amazon. Try to find a hose that's a non-marring hose and one that looks relatively smooth, because if you are doing detailing on the side, or if you are going to be knocking out a bunch of cars, I would go with a hose that's not going to scuff up concrete, and go with a hose that's not going to absolutely sand through car paint if it touches it. So let's try to go for a smooth one if you can find them.
good
smooth.
call. All right, we got Angry Monkey Detailing. Sydney.
please tell me there are not a bunch of half-polished cars in the Boise Airport rental lots. I have the rental companies caught on yet, and is a detail covered by the rental damage waiver? Well, we didn't consider any of that.
Yeah.
So half a bunch, no. I don't really think we didn't really leave any rental cars hanging this time, other than possibly Bradley's Turo, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But
And
as far
Carson
as
here, he tries to make sure every car does
Yeah.
get finished to a degree
Yeah.
before it leaves.
Yeah.
He's,
And now,
he's big about
yeah.
that.
And that said, obviously through all the trainings I've done, we always use rental cars, and we always polish them out and coat them, and they always look 1,000 times better.
Mm-hmm.
Not one person has ever noticed, and we have never caused any
Do you
damage
want
to a
to
car
know?
either.
Do you want to know what the first thing a rental car company does when they get the return back?
They run it through the Scratch-O-Matic.
They run it
yeah.
through the car wash.
Yeah.
They do
Yeah.
not even
They
look
don't
at the
even
paint.
care. Yeah.
They're not taking a scan grip to it.
They
They're not
don't
doing
know.
anything. They're
Yep.
going to go run that white car, that
Yeah.
black car, that gray car, whatever color it is. They're going to run it through the Scratch-O-Matic, and it's going to go right back on the lot.
Yeah.
So as long as there's not a major gouge or dent or missing a bumper, they don't care.
Yeah.
Even if it's only half, it's still more love than that car's ever seen in its life.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex asking the
Yes.
important questions.
Yes, Sydney, is that the strawberry Sonic beverage? Yes. So Sonic right now has a strawberry horchata freeze
What?
that is so
Oh, that sounds like an
good.
Anthony
That sounds
flavor.
amazing.
Oh my god, I get them all the time. They're so
You said
good.
it's a limited time thing, or is they
Yeah,
have it
but
for
I've
long?
gotten them for the last
Oh.
month. Every
Oh,
day.
So
wow.
strawberry horchata.
Yeah, so it's like strawberry and cinnamon. It's a freeze. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it sounds next
It's
time.
so,
we'll have to
so good.
Get on that
Yes.
To
train.
answer
I got one for
Alex's
Alex when he was
question,
here.
the
Yeah.
painted hood, the one that you guys did together, is safe.
It did get moved today. It got
get
moved
moved.
into the container outside.
Yeah, it's in storage now.
I was hoping we were going to put it right behind us
We
here,
should
but
hang that on a wall.
It needs to be hung up. It's really,
Yeah.
really funny.
I think that could go in the bathroom.
That's some wall
We
art.
don't have anything in the bathroom.
Well,
I mean,
we got
have,
photos of cars that were in the White Wall
well,
studio.
we have a lot of space in
some
those
of them are
bathroom
starting to
walls.
curl though.
They are
because they shouldn't be in
getting
the
worn out from humidity.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
not the
Why is
best
it
place for
humid in the
them.
bathroom?
Who knows?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, Embry,
I don't
Colorburst
know.
drying towel is by far the best I've ever used. Well,
Well,
happy to hear
crap,
that, Will.
I'm glad to hear
Yeah.
that. Continue to buy more. They are on a screaming deal.
For sure. And Will also says, I'm actually just down the road from Optimum Polymer Technologies doing some work.
cool. Oh, awesome.
Interesting. And then we got a little talk about TRCMA here from Alpha Tango saying, I really like the format this year. I didn't feel pressured to watch every moment or miss something. The segments were done very well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And then Amber, Sydney, you want to read that one?
Loves TRCMA this year, and you guys were amazing. So was Behind the Scenes, which ran the best ever. Can't wait for new tips on my eye case sprayer, and looking forward to the Rag Company Ultra Foam Cannon.
Thank
Awesome.
you, Amber. Me too. It's going to be great.
Very cool.
Thanks, Amber. And then Alex, I vote for a 2-hour live stream of Lucas at his desk.
There you go.
That would be something. Speaking of something, Hans, redo Wash Wednesday with horse washing.
That was pretty funny, man. That was one.
That
of
was
the
a
more
crazy
memorable-
episode.
Yeah, that was more memorable.
That's
That
an
was- that was
old
pretty
episode,
funny.
but that is a very good episode.
See, we need to bring back some. We need to re-release some. Of
We've
these.
always
we need
been
like a
goofy.
narrator to go like as the opening, and like kind of
Yeah.
like set the tone
Like,
of
this
like
is
what was
this
going on
is-
here. What
This
was
is what happened. You know,
Yeah.
a recap of the Rag Company's YouTube history
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
with like a British narrator,
Yeah,
right?
that would be
Anthony
so
washed
great.
a horse.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
real.
Oh my god, it would be so great because there were some really really good videos that just didn't get the play that they really need.
Ooh, here at the last second, Fallout Auto Detailing. Let's see a wash and talk with all the Bill Hamber products. Bill Hamber products
Yeah.
are very good.
I can see that being pretty good.
I do love me
That
some
would be
traceless.
good.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we've got, boy, you know what? I'm going to throw the last comment up on the board here. Koshemi, what's up, TRC? We had a blast at TRCMA. Thank you for having us.
Dude,
so we had a
awesome.
lot of fun.
Yeah, that was
with
awesome. We love you
everybody.
boys. You guys
Yeah.
are great. So we always have a fun time with really every team. But
For real.
I do love that they bring the whole family.
Oh,
out.
yeah.
So you get you get
Yeah.
you get a little bit of everybody, right?
Yep.
So yeah, enough love to go around.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
guess that's it.
that's the last
It's
Q&A.
been real.
Well,
All right.
I mean, is there? I mean, I am sure at some point we will have like maybe a Q&A of a topic at some point,
Yeah.
but maybe not a one that is.
So
not
when we
topic.
say it's kind of a play on words, okay,
Yeah.
guys. So
Yeah.
Q&A Thursday
Yeah.
is the Q&A that you've known forever.
Yeah.
It's been a thing forever. We made it a standard time, day of the week, all that stuff, so that we thought, people will tune in. It'll be something memorable. The hard part is, while we do get regulars tuning in, it wasn't really bringing like more new people in the way that we were hoping it would. So not a bad thing. I love that you guys tune in every week, but we weren't seeing like it building too much in a way we're really looking for. So we think by doing more of these like focused ones, we're going to be able to bring in some new folks while still having you guys get all the fun you want out of it. So all I can really say is make sure you are subscribed to the Rag Company YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure it's turned on, because next week, I'm going to remind you again, we are doing our first of the new live stream style coming up. We just call them TRC Live from now on. That's what they are. The Q&A, while it's always been fun, there will be Q&As in these coming up, but it's going to be TRC Live. Every live stream is TRC Live.
Yeah.
So that's just how you're going to know it from now on. Anyway, we really, really appreciate each and every one of you who've tuned in with us for years, or if today's your first day, we really want you to check in and not feel alienated by how strange it feels to just sit here and talk from a desk. From here on out, we're going to be doing some wild stuff. So next week, Friday at 2 p.m., you are going to see on the 24th household cleaning products. How do they hold up in the detailing world? And maybe, just maybe, you'll see Anthony in a French maid outfit. Oh, I've said too
no.
much. Okay, anyway, moving on. Guys, have a
Better
great one.
you-
We'll
Wait, what
see
did you
ya.
say at the
Take
end
care.
there? You said
Goodbye.
something.
Let's all get out of here before it's too late. Bye-bye.
All right. See ya.
What?